The Widow. How do I describe Ashley? She is a force of nature. But I'm going to do what I do. I hope you like it, Ashley. Here we go. She's the widow, a cute, sexy thing. She has a husky voice with a southern twang. If you come at her, then pack a lunch. If you throw a jab, then she'll throw a punch. I think the MCU is her favorite topic. She breaks it down. She got crazy optics. The widow's ready, so here we go. Sit back, relax, enjoy her show. The Widow. That name alone says it all. Ashley is a force of nature. Don't mess with her. Make sure you tune into her show. Her content is fire. Peace.
There it is. It's me and the dot right now. I'm going to get some other people in here in just a moment, hopefully. How are you doing, Dottie Dot? Tell him what you just had to walk me through. It would probably cause you serious heartache and pain and misery.
So I was educating her on why Thor 3 is an impressive movie.
That's not what
she needs to love
doing.
it. I was trying to tell her, she was like, Ashley be telling me Thor 3 is trash, y'all. And I'll be telling her, that's a damn good movie. You need to start respecting Thor 3. I think it's better than WandaVision.
This is Cap. It's
better than WandaVision, at least.
Okay. No, so it's been a long time. I actually was trying to tell a real True Blue story, and of course he had to say some trolly crap, guys, because he's the king of the trolls, right?
It's the truth.
Maybe his daddy is King Troll, and then he's the heir to the troll throne. Actually, that's more, accurate here.
Nah, Nerman's like Odin. He's
yeah, and you're like Thor.
He's getting old. He's getting old. I'm already taking over.
Oh
no, I'm King T'Chaka and T'Challa.
Oh my gosh.
See, he's king for now, but I'm the Black Panther. And he's some crazy white dude is gonna blow him up and do this conspiracy, and then I gotta go fight this dude with a metal arm. It's gonna be tight.
So we have one little topic, and then the rest of it's just general flow of a conversation. This is basically chill stream. We're gonna maybe discuss a few things.
Why are we talking about the mic thing first or after?
Yeah, I'm sending the other links out. I just kind of start with my little dot real quick.
Well, what's up, RJ? What's up, Superboy? Superboy, good to see you back.
Yeah, good to see you, Superboy. Yeah, we're here. Yeah, so he was helping me with my Streamlabs, because I haven't used Streamlabs, guys, in a long time. There was a time I started using it, and then I fell off. I stopped, and so I'm trying to really get back into doing that.
I mean, RJ, we know you're a fake DC fan. You're an MCU show. We know you like Morbius and stuff. We know we know RJ's excited for Kraven the Hunter. Dude, I'm telling you, Ashley.
See, guys,
RJ probably already got his Kraven the Hunter merchandise.
Let me tell you guys, I don't know why I continue to entertain this stuff the way that I do. If I didn't love him as much as I do, I wouldn't entertain it for a second.
Wow, and look at Superboy, right. Acting fake. He's saying MC all day, but yesterday he was saying DC fire. Come on, Superboy.
Yeah.
So on my stream, Superboy want to gas up DC, but on Ash's stream, you want to come gas the MC. I see how it is, bro.
Because he knows what's up. Oh, yay.
No allegiances out here in these streets.
RJ.
Yay, fake DC fan. What's up?
Wait, what?
I'm a fake fan. RJ is the True Blue fan, right? That's what he is.
Absolutely, yeah.
But RJ is that one, because it's he's a good guy. he likes both and he champions for both. You know, he's not as cynical as you and I. So, you know, he likes both a lot.
I try and keep it real, but I also try and keep it optimistic too, you know.
Yes.
Well, sir,
I'm
I
very
think you might
excited.
like Morbius a little too much, sir.
Oh no, I was not a fan of Morbius. I'm quite scared for that bad web movie now, but you know.
Yeah, and another thing is Dot has not even seen Morbius, RJ. Let me tell you this. He has not seen this movie.
I seen
He's
the
not
post credit
gonna
scene and the bat bending part. I saw the part where he was bat bending. He bended those bats.
He's not even seen the movie, guys. You know, and I want to. Hopefully, our other guests will get here before we can, because I want to talk about Mike Tyson. And I know
But look,
Dot's got to get to work and
Ashley,
maybe come back in, but I do want to react to
there's
that
one
video
thing.
because I haven't seen it yet. Have you seen it, RJ?
No, I saw like a picture of something, but I
think
seen
there's
the
a
video
video.
either.
I think there's a video.
There was a
So,
video.
yeah. So Dot, yeah, and I was like,
Ashley,
what's
well, we
going
can't
on?
admit this. I don't be trashing Morbius though. I don't. I rarely talk about it. How many times
you don't? Because you haven't seen it. How can you trash something you haven't seen? No,
I'm just trying to say I'm not those type of people that trash shit that they ain't seen. You know.
But you're saying it's better than other things. So, and how can you say that?
Oh, I can say that. That's different.
Well, you can say it because he's on that Hamada payroll.
Yeah, that's it. Shout out to Mike Tyson. Yeah.
But I predict for the Morbius box office,
it's
going to make more than Infinity War. The Morbius box office. I think it's going to make more than Infinity War. Nobody's ready. Like, I'm not joking. I think
nobody believes that.
Morbius ain't even making as much as Ant-Man did.
It's not making more than
Morbius ain't gonna make as much as Shazam.
Yeah.
Actually, let me see. I don't know let me see what the box office
run. It won't make as much as
it opened to like 50 and then it like dropped like 75% in the second weekend, which is like the worst ever second weekend drop for any of these movies.
Anza.
What's up?
Do you think it's gonna end where Birds of Prey kind of ended up at, just like that 200-something million?
I think it's gonna be less than Birds of Prey.
Ooh.
Well, let me
What's going to be less than Birds of Prey?
Morbius.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I can see it. I can see it. I mean, it's not good. It's a snore fest.
Yeah.
But the question is, which is better?
That bat bending scene was kind of tight, though. You know, I think it was better than Infinity War's third act. That bat bending, we bended the bats and stuff. I was like, that's tight. He summoned them bats and stuff.
Right now.
It was tight. I'm joking.
No, it's not. No, it's not tight. No, it's not tight.
Well, hey, Ashley, at least next year you got Kraven the Hunter to look forward to. They didn't delay that one.
Yeah.
Aaron Taylor Johnson
got delayed.
But Spider Into the Spider-Verse, let's delay that. Like,
why?
Yeah, why they delayed it? I know it wasn't.
They're saying it's because of
remember
how
RJ,
well it's gonna. Yeah, they remember how the DC movies got delayed because of VFX production, post production to get more time. They're saying the same thing for all these Sony movies and to give them more time for animation. I think it's probably because they just want better releases. It's like, oh shit, Morbius flopped. We need a better release date for these movies. Make sure they do well. I don't know.
Honestly, for Sony, RJ, and I'm agreeing with you, they need more time with visual effects for their movies and stuff. You know, with Venom, even No Way Home and Morbius, like, they don't like to polish the visual effects. They just kind of, it feels like they put it out too early.
Bro,
they don't polish the visual effects. Sony needs to stop. Like,
so you're saying the visual effects in No Way Home weren't good?
No, they're not bad. But the for example, the green screen effects. Look at the Venom, Morbius. Well, not I can't really say Morbius, but No Way Home and Far From Home. That green screen be looking funky. Like the green screen itself, it just be looking weird and shit. Like Sony needs to slow down with the release of these films that is heavy with CGI and stuff. So
it's the problem in the industry right now too, because all of their post production for VFX, like they're doing it at multiple VFX companies that are in different parts of the world and got to communicate with each other. Plus, a lot of them are working at home right now. Right. That's why a lot of stuff's been getting leaked more than usual. It's because all the VFX companies, their workers are working at home. And they got stuff on their computers, and it's leaky ships. You know what I mean? So,
facts. Y'all want to? Can we go ahead and we're going to react to this now?
Yeah. What the heck did Mike Tyson do?
Apparently, this is on a plane too. So, right? Is it?
I'll just say this: I'm on Mike Tyson's side.
I'm not on anybody's side that puts their hands on anybody first, and especially not a former boxer and said Mike Tyson with them dead.
Well, I'm not sure if you're going to show the second video, but when I show you the second video, play this one. I'm not sure if you're going to show the second part with more context.
Well, do you have a link for it?
Let me get it. Well, I'm not sure if they're going to play it here, but let me get it just in case.
Okay. Because I hadn't watched it because I was going to react to it when I was like messing with my Streamlabs, and then it took forever, and then I did something. I had to do something else, and so I just said we'll just do it here. That's why I didn't watch it, because I wanted to react to it when I made the video for it. But I was like, hey, we're streaming. I'll just react here to it. So I'm gonna push play, and we're gonna watch this right now, guys.
Hey. Hey, Mike.
Damn.
Let's go stop back. Let's do the horse, man. Hey. Hey, Mike, come on. Let's go stop back. Let's do the horse, man.
Oh, my.
That's slow-mo.
Hold on, let me find the other clip. They're literally deleting it on Twitter. The other with more context.
Because,
I wonder.
Because the guy was annoying. Like
I found it. Got it.
Yeah, I had it too. If you needed it.
I saw 2 tweets just get deleted by a copyright owner trying to hide this part of the thing.
Wow. Yeah. Right.
All right,
and even with the video
still,
that K-Dot's
if you're like,
right, there's still like a blank spot that's cut out before Mike Tyson starts beating the guy. So we don't really know what happened with that time. You'll see. Watch. Play it, K-Dot.
This is George Soldier Mike Tyson, bro. This shit crazy, bro. Mike Tyson.
Oh yeah, you can't do that to Mike Tyson, but still.
Mike Tyson trying to give us some shrooms.
He whooped somebody before for doing that. Same exact thing.
His money. That blue net flight, we just got beat up by Mike Tyson. Turn that way.
That's what he wanted. Probably.
Wait, so what was he doing to him? He's just like being an asshole and just kind of like yelling at him, or what? It's kind of hard to tell.
I think he was just messing with him.
Just messing with him, like, hey, look, Mike Tyson and blah blah blah, and behind his head and doing all kinds of shit. But like,
so basically, he was trying to get him to do something.
I think he was, because Mike Tyson's done that before. Like, I didn't know what the context was, so I'm glad I got to see that, because I remember he beat somebody up outside of a club or something or somewhere for doing.
Yeah, I remember that.
What
and. In that video, like I said, so they show him bothering Mike Tyson, then a piece is cut out, and then you see Mike Tyson beating the guy. So whatever was cut out is what pushed Mike Tyson to do what he did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah, man. Like that. Like, okay, you got to be so dumb to want to pick a fight with Mike Tyson, man. His hands are registered weapons, man. Like, you don't want it. One punch and you're like. You got a bad time, man.
But is it like, I know everybody's like that he that's what he gets, but what if that's what he wanted, to get Mike Tyson to fight him? Because some people are crazy like that. They'll do things like that,
No, I think it's probably what that guy wanted. He wanted the internet fame and attention. He wanted people to record it and look at that. He got what he wanted, but still, he looks like an asshole at the end of the day.
He does.
It was actually his friend that was recording it.
Yeah, exactly. It was all
the guy in the background is his friend. Yeah, right.
So he
knew
deliberately did that.
Absolutely.
And Mike Tyson unfortunately took the bait. In that situation, it's like because they were trying you.
Well, I think I saw Ice-T. I saw Ice-T put out a tweet basically saying like y'all don't think we're gonna do something to you, but when we do, y'all get all upset or something, you know?
Yeah.
Well, that's the
yeah.
thing
He said.
too,
He
right?
said if dumb fucks said the same type of shit they say to me on here face to face, I know I'd be in prison.
Right.
It's like
I'm scared.
Yeah, I agree. A lot of keyboard warriors, and that's the thing, right? They think because it's Mike Tyson, he's a celebrity, can't do nothing, right? And
yeah, they said Mike Tyson punched somebody who was effing with them. The problem is nowadays, mofos think they won't get punched in the face.
And that's the problem I've been having with society as of recent. People think the law can protect them from getting these registered hands for talking shit. Now look, I'm not technically, yes, what Mike did is assault. By law, it is technically assault. You know, I don't think the guy's gonna press charges. It seems like he's gonna brush it off and keep it pushing. But I'm not saying you need to resort to violence for everything. I'm not saying you cannot use violence in certain cases. But if you talk shit and mess with people, get ready for
consequences. Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Now you can snitch to the law. You can go to the law after, but don't be mad when somebody reacts the way they do, because you can't be trying random people. You try random people, they're going to give you you're going to get a random outcome because you don't know.
Yeah.
And this is
well, again,
Tyson
just about that public space too. You know.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But no, I was gonna say, like, my dad has sat next to, like, he's gone on flights before. He sat next to football players, baseball players, you know, and he's talked to them, right? He would have a conversation with them from the conversation, but he's not poking at him and trying to be a jerk. He's like, he teaches them like normal people.
Absolutely.
Like, that's the thing. It's like a generational thing too. It's like there's just a lack of respect for people nowadays too. We're just like, we could treat you however you want because, you know, you ain't gonna touch me, ain't gonna do nothing to me. Like,
and this is Mike Tyson we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, why would you even provoke this guy? You've seen what he did in the ring. You've seen what he did to people outside of the ring. So I'm just like agreeing with Ashley.
And Mike Tyson hasn't slowed down.
Internet
he still
fame.
punches quick.
Internet fame. Also, that's what.
Sorry, I'm trying to send something real quick. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's all it is. It's like he wanted him to get him to fighting because he wants clout, so he can post a video and get his 15 minutes of fame. So it's kind of like, oh, you know, that's why I feel like you just like played into his hand, even though, and even then, like it's hard. Like if somebody's like that close and probably in your face, especially when you. I mean, Mike Tyson was fighting people before he was actually a boxer and a fighter. You know what I mean? So with his explosive personality, you know, temper at times, and you know that that's just his nature. You know, to punch. It's just a bad mix, and I feel bad for him because you know he's come a long way. He had his one-man show, his documentary, his book. You know, all of these things. And then, you know, he had his issues recently with alcohol and, you know, getting through that. And then now here's this, you know?
And the thing is, he's not stable. Mike Tyson is not.
No, he's not. He's never been.
You need to know who you can mess with and who you can't mess with. And that's one person you don't mess with, you know?
Yeah.
I'll be honest. With Mike Tyson, you can't. The police not enough to stop him. You need to hire someone off the dark web to take him down. Mike Tyson, this dude bit off somebody's ear. Why would you try him?
Exactly. I don't know why he would.
Yeah. Look, sometimes you gotta man up and do your thing, but there's some cases when you're dealing with someone who will bite your ear off. Take your pride and your trolling and set that stuff aside. So you can go home with an ear. That's what I'm gonna say. Mike didn't chew his ear off, but he could have. He could have.
100%.
I think. Oh my, Anzo, Ashley, RJ. There is literally a interview he did on his channel, his podcast, where he says when he punches people, it is like sexual pleasure for him. He said that.
I believe that.
I was like,
what?
Yes, he said that. He said,
RJ, I know. I'm like, what? I didn't know that. Show me this.
Here, let me.
I do not believe you.
Let me find it.
I can believe that.
He literally. Let me see. Let me get it.
I mean, I can, but it's just like a weird thing.
Well,
to
is it
say,
sexual pleasure for him or the people he's punching? Like,
Well, for him, if he says it's like a
maybe
release.
a bit of both. We don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
well, does he punch people as foreplay? Like, what is that? What are we doing?
Well, all right, I could be saying it wrong.
I mean, apparently, I don't know. Okay, that was bad. I mean, but he's.
Oh no! It was so he needed sex before fights.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, so he's like, he
yeah,
had to
that's
release
a big. That's
oh
a big
yeah.
difference.
I got it wrong. So basically, he said, "Jeez." He said he needed sex before fights because he does not want to go into actually harming people. He wants to be like relaxed. He doesn't want to kill anybody. So that's why he likes to have sex before fights. So he doesn't literally unleash and kill somebody.
Man, this is weed.
What is this?
Out.
Yeah, it sounds.
Have y'all ever heard of New Jack? He passed away, but he was a crazy wrestler that enjoyed.
Yeah, I know New Jack. New Jack was. Watch The Dark Side of the Ring. It's a documentary series about wrestlers. Watch the documentary. It's about an hour long on New Jack where they talk to him. He passed away last year, I believe. But that man was insane. He did some crazy things. He almost killed somebody in the ring.
Yeah, I was watching the pay-per-view that he almost went to, he did go to jail for. It was crazy. He took.
He went to jail. He went to jail because he actually tried to kill somebody in the wrestling ring.
Yeah.
What happened?
He treated for real. He treated for real, man. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm. They were doing something in it was a gym, right? And he climbed up on, like, the entrance of like a gym where people walk in. He climbed up on there, threw the guy off the top of a table. Dude went to the hospital, pressed charges against him. Then he had an issue. The same guy, all right? The same guy came back and they had a match again. And he had like a blade and was cutting him up in the ring.
Yeah, and I think there was like a kid. Yeah, there's like a kid that was like a backup wrestler. He cut him up so bad, he was bleeding so profusely, like he was like scarred for life or something.
Yeah, he was crazy.
That's scary. But was he? And he was like a really like mainstream wrestler? Because I don't know a lot about
No, not exactly. He was in like a promotion I think called ECW for a little bit. Yeah, but he was mostly an indie wrestler, did like indie stuff. But the most mainstream he got was in ECW. Like I said, even if you're not into wrestling, that Dark Side of the Ring series is so fascinating. Just to give you an insight on that stuff, like it's tremendous.
It's great.
I like documentaries. I like especially sports, but I'm not really into like wrestling. But like the
like I said, even if you're not into wrestling, it's just like a good insight onto like people.
It's like a documentary.
Yeah,
you know
I like
what I mean?
that.
Like they do the Chris Benoit stuff, talk about the murder and all kinds of stuff like that. So
there's true crime elements in there, mental health discussions. I mean, it's like got everything just in the context of wrestling. But I think some of the episodes are even on YouTube, like for free.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll check them out. Yeah, send me a link. Check it out sometime. See if I can get into it. You never know. I'm trying to find. I'm looking for. Have you seen The Northman yet, RJ?
No. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see it this weekend, but I really want to see it. I've heard nothing.
Didn't it come out last weekend? Was it last weekend?
No, it's this weekend.
Oh, it's this weekend. I might try to go see it Sunday.
Yeah, there's like 3 movies coming out this week. There's The Bad Guys, the new animated movie.
Yeah,
there's the Unbearable Massive Weight of Talent or whatever, the Nicolas Cage movie.
I'm going to go see that too because I'm thinking, me and my friend Sammy, we might go see a movie Saturday and we might go see that because I really like the trailer, but I hope it doesn't let me down because it's like Nicolas Cage being Nicolas Cage, obviously.
Right, it's like what's on
exaggerated, so I'm interested. Kind of gives me. It's not going to compare, but like this is the end kind of vibes, like when the actors kind of like playing like a version of themselves a little bit. So I'm interested to see how that goes.
Mm.
Oh,
yeah, it is on. There are episodes on. on YouTube.
Yeah, Everything Everywhere All at Once was phenomenal. If
Yes.
any of you haven't seen that, go watch it. It's great.
It's my favorite movie of the year so far. It's really, really, really good.
Which one?
You know,
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay.
I just call it Everything Everywhere because I forget the rest of it. But it's like the title is a tongue twister, you know. But it's like it kind of fits the film because it's like it's gonna make you work, right?
Right.
It's really good though. It's like a multiverse. It's a multiverse film, and it's gonna be interesting to see like how Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is a different film, you know, altogether. But to see how their take on the multiverse and the rules compared to Everything Everywhere All at Once. See, I said it. Because like the way that the rules are explained very well, and I'm Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, when it comes to that, has got a lot to live up to. Don't you think so, RJ?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's hard to compare the two. I mean, they both use the multiverse
in the sense of the multiverse, like, because like,
well, yeah, because like Everything Everywhere was so creative.
Yeah, I'm just saying, absolutely. I'm talking about the sense of the way that they explain the multiverse to us, not necessarily the concepts, within the
the story. Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be really interesting how they do it, because I feel like in Everything Everywhere, it was kind of complex, but it made sense for what it was. It was just high concept for sure, because it was more about like body possession of like other versions of yourself and everything. So I don't know, it'll be interesting to see that for sure.
All right.
Yeah.
You guys, I'm going to bounce up out here. I'll be back shortly.
All right. Okay.
Heading to work.
All right.
See y'all in a little bit.
So
DC's amazing.
Is it though? I mean, I don't know if DC is so amazing,
Wait.
Dumbledore. Now is that let's like I wanna
real quick. I'm not sure if StreamYard updated again, but now I asked you if you're sure you want to leave the broadcast now.
It does, yeah. Yeah, that's a new thing.
All right.
Yeah, it does do that. I noticed that.
You gotta click it twice.
Never noticed.
It just started, I think. It's like brand new.
Yeah, they always update StreamYard and they never say anything. It's just like you just find out when you click on it. It's like, oh, this is new.
Yep. Like the music. I came in here one day and I was like, what the hell is this? There's music in here now? Okay. Interesting.
But, I'm not going to deal with this.
Deal with what? Somebody
trying to troll me and rile me up with their comment. Yeah. It's nothing big, but I just know we're gonna be nice here. You know what I'm saying? And if we're not, I'm gonna put you in a timeout. And I'm trying to get back to streaming. But if you want to be a troll, welcome. I'll just time you out.
Yeah, we don't deal with trolls over here, bro.
I don't deal with trolls. You'll get this type of reaction right here, and I will say goodbye and I bid you adieu, my friend. Anyway, moving on from that. So Dumbledore, I want to ask you, because we're talking about this on Mad Max, and I didn't really give my thoughts really on it a lot, because Dumbledore, the secrets, Fantastic Beasts.
The Harry Potter crap.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, anyway, I'm just the question I'm asking, because the question is, how do they move forward? Do they stop here? With this series of films, I mean, because think about it. You have the fact that they recast Johnny Depp. A lot of people are upset, and now with all of this uproar with this trial going on right now, even though we still have to wait on the outcome, and I think that even though I think in the realm of public opinion, he's going to come out on top. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But in the case itself, for what needs to be proved, I think she might have a better shot at winning the defamation case, because it's based off of those sole points alone, right? So you have him, right? And then you have the fact that he was recast. Then you have the situation with Ezra, right? Miller. And then you have the issues with J.K. Rowling. So what do we do? Do we scrap this movie and try to do something else in the Wizarding world, or do we just say we're not doing it at all moving forward, unless she she completely separates herself from all projects moving forward, which I don't think that she's willing to do. What do you think, RJ?
It sucks. I really like Harry Potter. I think it's a franchise that had a lot of potential. I think Fantastic Beasts as a concept, as a franchise, though, was just messed up from the start, because you can't really combine a Newt Scamander story about finding magical beasts with like the love story and drama between Albus Dumbledore and Grindelwald. Those two concepts is never mixed inherently from the get-go. I never made sense how they could combine that. If they want to do a prequel series, they should have just done the Dumbledore versus Grindelwald stuff, because that was what it was all about anyway. So, like, why even include Newt Scamander? I think ultimately they're probably just going to put the franchise on ice for a few years, wait for the TV and streaming rights to go back to them in 2025, and then do something from there. I think the obvious play is to try and do a sequel with the original cast, play up that nostalgia, like 10, 15, however many years later. Let's do it. But I don't know. Things are in flux over there, man. Their two biggest franchises, Harry Potter and DC, like their futures are like so murky. Like I really don't know what's going to happen at this point.
Anzo, what do you think? And especially with the merger coming, they might just say to all of this, we don't want any part of this, because you have two people who, one person who was in the last film, obviously Ezra would not come back. And then, the writer who, the work is based off, because she doesn't do the screenplays anymore. It's still her vision, and she's still, really tied to it. And then the recasting of Johnny Depp. I think it's time to throw it all in the trash, really, and start brand new. Anzo, what would you
do? Well, when I went to go see the Batman, they showed a trailer for the new Harry Potter movie, and I was like,
Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, I was like, Fantastic Beasts, Harry Potter, same thing. But there's black people in the movie, so I really don't know much about the Fantastic Beasts stuff, right? So I don't know. Redo it, kill it. Doesn't matter to me. I ain't going to see it. Not a fan. Not interested.
Not a fan. Not interested. Well.
Mm-mm.
There's that. I think that, I'm not really big into the films myself, necessarily. I'm not into Harry Potter like that, but it's just, how much drama can one, company have at one time,
Yeah, no, and it's just like, I mean, the whole J.K. Rowling thing's a giant can of worms I don't even want to get into, but it's just like, I don't even know, like, if it's worth it at this point. Like, she has to think too. Does she want her franchise just to continue, or does she want to die on the hill of her political opinions? I'm not for sure. It's just like, what do you value more at this point too? It's something they got to ask themselves as well.
Yeah, not.
Was that true? Wait, is that true?
Yes, pushing Catherine Waters out of the picture because she doesn't agree with J.K. Rowling's politics. It's messed all around. Yeah, her part was reduced significantly.
I was wondering, I'm like, why is she not in this third film as much? Because I heard she wasn't in it very much. I'm like, where is she? Is that really why she wasn't in the movie that much?
Yes.
I had no idea.
It's like with a wink, wink and a nudge, nudge type of thing.
Yeah, because I know Tina, I believe, Tina Goldstein's only at like the very end of the film or something. I'm like, why? Like, she was a major main character.
Yeah, she spoke out against J.K. Rowling, and then after that, her part was brought down to very, very little. And I wonder if some of that might have been her also necessarily not wanting to work with her, like both of them together, But yeah, that's the main reason why she's not in the movie a whole lot. Is because of
the second one any good?
The second one, The Crimes of Grindelwald?
Yeah. That one's good.
No,
you didn't like it? I actually like Fantastic Beasts. Okay.
I like the first one. Okay, the second one's fine. I think the second one is weak in some areas, though. I'll be honest. Like, people hate these Fantastic Beasts movies. I think they're okay. Like, they're no Harry Potter, but like, they are perfectly fine. I mean, even the second one with the issues I have with it, I wasn't like, oh my god, I hate Harry Potter now. Kill this franchise. I'm like, well, okay, they kind of missed some things here, but let's see what they do with the next one. And I've heard they made they made course corrections in the third film that made it better, but it's just nobody cared to go see it. So it's like it didn't even matter. So it's kind of the sad thing.
You didn't see the third one yet either?
No, I was going to, but I've just been so busy with like finishing up some college classes and everything. Okay. So hopefully I was gonna try and see it this weekend, but there's just so many movies coming out, and I only have 2 weeks before Doctor Strange. It's like that's the priority right now.
I know Doctor Strange is getting all the attention.
Yeah, it's just like I'm saving my time and my money for that.
Well, I go to the movies. That's like me, like my friends, we like to go. Me and my closest friend, we go to the movies. There was a lot, and so I know that we're gonna go this weekend, and I'm probably might go with my family to see the Bad Guys movie. I want to see Northman, but I might not be able to this weekend because I know if I go Saturday, I don't want to go twice on Sunday. You know what I mean? Because I can't be like, hey, family, let's go see Northman. They're not going to watch that. My niece and nephew would be, it's not appropriate, first of all, and they would be dying. I made the biggest mistake of my life taking my niece to go see Endgame because she was so excited because she liked, the first 2 Avengers movies. It was too long for her. And I think I've, brainwashed her for Black Widow. As soon as Black Widow died, she's like, is it almost over? Like every 10 minutes, she was like, how much longer? How much longer? She was not excited. She was not having it at all. So
yeah, I get that.
See that. It's not appropriate either, but yeah. But I do want to see all 3 of them. It's like so many movies. It's like just think about how we weren't getting content for so long, right?
Well, that's what makes me so happy. Like it feels like things are back to normal stuff coming out. I mean, just look at like June. You got Lightyear and there's Top Gun Maverick. There's like a lot of big movies coming out in the next few weeks, which is great.
Yeah, but those ones you told me about that are coming out now, I think all of those ones I'll probably wait till Onzo Vision gets them.
Onzo Vision?
Yeah, the Nicolas Cage one. I'll wait.
She didn't see Iron Man. I'm sorry, she didn't see Iron Man because the first Iron Man. But she's seen like the third Iron Man. So she's seen in none of the Thor movies. She's seen both the Avengers movies, the third Iron Man movie, all the Spider-Man, Ant-Man, the Wasp, Ant-Man, Captain Marvel. So she's seen everything pretty much except for Thor and first Captain America and the first Iron Man. She's seen them all. Those are the ones she hasn't seen. And Guardians of the Galaxy is her favorite. Too.
Tends to be everybody's favorite. Like,
yeah,
people are like super casual.
She loves the music, just like Dan. No, she reads comics. She reads the comics now too. So she's
it's awesome.
She's pretty. Yeah, I was like, she's she's doing good. She just didn't like it because Black Widow died really chillmonger. That's what it was. And she just was, she was a lot younger then, but so maybe now, because it has been 3 years, I mean, she's 10 now. So, so it might be better for her now, She did. I mean, she saw she's seen all the new ones except for Eternals. She did not go see Eternals.
It's probably
she can miss that one.
That's what I'm saying. If she thought Endgame was too long, Eternals she's gonna be like 5 minutes in. Is it over? Is it over?
Yeah.
And
she didn't want to watch WandaVision because it was too gray.
Oh yeah, the
the
black and white.
Yeah, she said it's too gray for her.
Smart girl. Absolutely.
Oh no, chill.
Smart.
No.
Well, actually, that kind of brings up something I want to ask you, Ashley. Did you see what Bruce Campbell said about?
No.
He did an interview. Okay, he did an interview for Game Informer about that new Evil Dead game. They asked him about Doctor Strange 2, and he kind of said something that's got people concerned.
What did he say?
I'll pull it up. I actually have the clip right here. I wanted your thoughts on this because I saw it floating around the other day, and like no one was really talking about it.
No,
but I thought it was interesting.
I'm gonna add it. Let's see here.
Yeah. So here's what he said.
Marvel guys, they make 8 of these movies at the same time, so they're always updating storylines. So my buddy Sam has had to add scenes that they told him he had to shoot, and he's removed scenes that no longer apply. So until May rolls around, I don't think Benedict Cumberbatch even knows if he's in this movie or not.
So basically, he was saying like they're constantly shifting things to where Sam's had to go back and film more scenes and cut scenes out that don't apply anymore because the story keeps changing. And it was all flipping out saying, "Oh my God, they're ruining Sam Raimi's vision. Oh no."
See, I think that that's like an over exaggeration because I saw something else. Not that.
Because they're all saying like, "Oh my God, it's Spider-Man 3 all over again." You know what I mean? It's like, leave Sam Raimi alone.
Yeah, I think that what that really is referring to is that there's different cuts of the movie with so many different characters in it because they don't want people to know exactly who is in the film. I think that that's what it means because like things were ever changing because rumor has it that there's several different versions of the film and they filmed in a lot of those reshoots and things were filmed and shown, it to people at different screenings. So people really don't know what's in the film. That's why we've had conflicting reports. We've heard that Boulder the Brave is in the movie. Tom Cruise's Iron Man is in the movie. All these different characters, and I don't know. And then what I've heard, and this is a rumor, and if you don't want to hear the rumor, maybe if you all don't want to hear on the panel, I won't say it, obviously.
I already know a lot.
In the chat?
I don't give a shit. Go ahead.
Okay. Anybody in the chat, if you don't want to hear it, nanner. But so apparently, well, we all kind of knew John Krasinski is apparently confirmed. The image that everyone was like, is that Iron Man? And we all knew it was Monica Rambeau. Confirmed.
Yeah, that's the shot. I knew right away.
Black Bolt is confirmed. Apparently in this leak. Who else? I don't forgot. Black Bolt.
Ezra Miller.
Yes, Ezra Miller is very, very there. He's so in this movie. He's punching his way through it, guys. And telling people
as he should
burn him alive.
Well, the other big one I heard was that Charlize Theron's in the movie as Clea.
Yes, she's a part of the Illuminati though. And I heard about the post-credit scene that with Doctor Strange you hear too with that one, right? Well, Phil's here, so we better stop.
But my point is, I'll just say this: even if they did make changes to the movie, I have faith in Marvel that they know what they're doing. You know what I mean? So,
what do you think about Bruce Bruce Campbell's remarks, Jill?
No comment. I kind of was, logging in when you guys were talking about it.
He's like,
can you play the clip again? Yeah, let's not talk any of that stuff we were just talking because Jill doesn't want to hear any of that probably. Rumory. So.
Yeah, I'll bring it back up. Hold on. So the quote from Culture Rave was Bruce Campbell in the Multiverse of Madness reshoots. Sam has had to add scenes that Marvel told him he had to shoot, and he's removed scenes that no longer apply. And this guy, he's a managing editor for Discussing Film. He said, Bruce likes to toy around, but this is still much worse when you actually hear it. And this is, again, how he said it.
Marvel guys, they make 8 of these movies at the same time, so they're always updating storylines. So my buddy Sam has had to add scenes that they told him he had to shoot, and he's removed scenes that no longer apply. So until May rolls around, I don't think Benedict Cumberbatch even knows if he's in this movie or not. Marvel.
Yeah.
Okay. All I can think about is that Spider-Man No Way Home was first supposed to come after Doctor Strange, and then because Sony wants their money, they're like, no, you're not going to delay it a whole year. You're just going to delay it till Christmas. And because of what Sony did with Spider-Man, then of course things had to change because things that were in the past tense were now in the future tense.
Yeah, and this kind of caused some discourse, like I said, because then this is managing editor for Discussing Film. He's one of them. He said, 1, Bruce would definitely be in the know since Sam and him are best buds. That is true. They are best friends. 2, given Raimi's history working with studios, having to fight for Darkman, Spider-Man 3 debacle, and Oz, the Great and Powerful, who's to say how satisfying this experience really was for him? I'm not trying to start more discourse, but come on, Feige really put Sam through the ringer, it seems. I'm like, did he though? Like, I don't know.
I think it's an overreaction.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, I saw that interview where they put out, what was that? That featurette where he was talking about the movie. He seemed really happy there. I mean, the way he was talking about the movie, I'm like, oh shoot. Like, it's so nice to see Sam Raimi happy and passionate again, Like, I don't get the sense that he's like feeling like, oh man, the studio's interfering with my work again. I mean, you're working for a big corporate machine, you know.
But it's not the machine either. It's the COVID delays which made things move out of play. Like if we had had a normal 2020 and 21, we'd have got this movie already, and there would have been no issues because everything is planned to release at the time it's planned to release at. It just sucks that the places that they were shooting at had different lockdowns and different restrictions. Sometimes you're shooting something in London, sometimes you're shooting something in Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. Like it was all different, and of course Sam Raimi would have understood. It's not the studio.
Next question here. Braille wants to know, how do you guys feel about Multiverse of Madness, the runtime? Yes, if you have any questions, just put them in the chat because this is an open stream. This is me getting back to streaming again. We're just...
For me personally, I'm not too worried about it. I mean, I think they confirmed it's 2 hours, 6 minutes, and 50 seconds. Probably 6 minutes of that is credits. Again, a lean 2 hours, I'm fine with if the runtime is used appropriately. Again, as long as that's enough runtime to tell the story that needs to be told, I'm okay with that. I don't think this movie is going to be as full of like crazy cameos and like branching storylines as people might assume. At the heart of it, it's a Doctor Strange story and it's a Scarlet Witch story. That's what the focus needs to be on. So if it can tell a good story with those two characters being the centerpieces of it, I think that's fine. I mean, supposedly it's a very briskly paced film. It's action scene after action scene with a lot of good character moments and development. So as long as it's got that, I'm fine with that. But it does have a lot on its plate. It's got to introduce a bunch of characters, so we'll see.
Yeah, when I hear 2 hours and 6 minutes, I think, oh, okay, so all of these surprise appearances will be little cameos here and there through a portal. Look, it's Deadpool waving at us, and that'll all... 2 hours and 6 minutes is not enough to do all that you want to do with a Doctor Strange sequel and include Wolverine, Fantastic Four, Ghost Rider, Elektra, everybody.
I agree. Like I because originally, like we kind of talked about it before, because I know RJ and I talked about this. We thought the film was going to be 2.5 hours. So
it was rumored at 2 hours 24 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like essentially 18 minutes. You know, cut off the film. I would have preferred, just because of the scope of it, and all these characters apparently supposed to be in the film, that it would be a bit longer. But I think that you can tell a complete story in 2 hours and 6 minutes, but it does seem quite short for a runtime to me.
It really depends on the story too, because like I said, it really depends. It's really going to depend. I mean, I never really assumed that the other characters would be like these huge like supporting roles. Because in No Way Home, you had villains. The villains were multiverse characters, and the two supporting actors were multiverse characters. This is like 6 or 7 characters introducing just to the Illuminati. We have no clue who else could be showing up either. So, I mean, that's the other thing too. Like, I never anticipated it was gonna be more than like one big scene with the Illuminati, seeing everyone there, one big fight scene with them fighting Wanda. That was about it. That's all I was really expecting. You know, if I get more than that, I'm cool with that. Like I said, I'm trying to keep my expectations tempered. Not because I don't think the movie can live up to anything, but it's more so just about, like, I think people get their hopes way too much when it comes to, like, what could be in this. Because I don't even think Wolverine's going to be in this. I think that's, like, a stretch, too. You know, like, people got to set their expectations in check sometimes.
I can hope.
I don't think Wolverine's going to be in it either, to be honest with you.
I don't think he is. And I don't think... I don't think Tom Cruise is going to be in it either, but, you know. Like
I think the Tom Cruise rumor got out of hand, to be honest. I think that was never really on the table.
Yeah, and then, like, everybody's like, Superior Iron Man. I'm like, I don't think if the cards are ever there laid on the table and RDJ wants to pick them up, I'm sure that it would be for Superior Iron Man. Like, that's another thing. I just don't think logically that they would be like, you know, you started this franchise, you know, basically was the face of it, and now we're just going to give you your character, this cool version of this character that might bring you back, just, you know, just as a joke to somebody real quick, you know. So that's why I don't think it would be him. I think that, you know, with Tom Cruise, I don't think that makes a lot of sense. What do you think, Sheil?
Well, I'm gonna
about
hope.
Tom
And
Cruise.
I've heard the Tom Cruise rumors so much and so often, and the rumor of, did you know he was actually thought about to be hired in 2008, and now I sort of believe it, and I can't wait for it to be wrong, because the more like wrong things that are fact and like, you know, rumored heavily, the more thing that we get wrong, the more like less likely or the more less believable rumors will be in the future. And so like nothing can really be ruined for me anymore, because I'll be like, oh look, they all said Tom Cruise was going to be in it and he wasn't in it, so don't tell me that in Secret Wars we're going to actually get Silver Surfer versus Beta Ray Bill. That can't be real. That's just a rumor, you know what I mean? So I kind of hope it's wrong in a way, and I also want it because it's, you know, amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing,
win-win.
but also, yeah. So you brought up Beta Ray Bill. Do you think that he's going to be teased in Thor: Love and Thunder? Will we see him at any point in the movie? Possibly.
Yeah, because look, they put him in the Thor Ragnarok movie with his skull there. Somebody over at Marvel is a fan enough to do that and include him that much. We know that the budget is there for a Beta Ray Bill, and we know that in the trailer there was two people, Korg and Thor, and then to the left, someone was edited out. If that's Beta Ray Bill, woof. I can't wait.
And then I know some people's like, he planted Stormbreaker. I wonder, you know, if he puts it there and then, you know, Beta Ray Bill ends up getting it, you know, because that's traditionally
that's what his hammer is called.
Exactly. RJ and Anzo, start with you. What do you think? Do you think Beta Ray Bill might show up?
I hope so. I mean, it would be interesting to see him, but I'm not really interested in Thor: Love and Thunder anyway.
I know you're not.
You give me a little
he's
trailer.
a party pooper, guys.
Give me a little trailer of some Beta Ray Bill, and that might perk me up a little bit more.
Yeah.
But right now, I would like to see him.
RJ.
If it's anyone to put him in, it's this movie.
Yeah, no, I mean, I would love to see Beta Ray Bill in the movie. I think it's about time we've gotten that character in the MCU. I just don't know if it'll happen, though. At least not in the main movie. Maybe a post-credit scene, because the reason I say that is that this movie has already so much on its plate to do. It's got to introduce Gore the God Butcher, the return of Sith, what's going on with King Valkyrie, what's going on with Korg, what's going on with Thor and his journey, what's going on with the Guardians of the Galaxy, the Jane Cancer storyline. How do you fit that in? There's just so much going on that adding another character I don't think is feasible for doing like the origin story of Beta Ray Bill alongside like the origin of Jane Foster. End credit scene.
Okay, maybe not an origin. You're right.
Yeah, maybe
I think
end credit scene for the next movie.
A nice introduction.
Look, he plants the hammer there, and then the end credit scene is someone's hand lifts that hammer, and it's Beta Ray Bill. You wouldn't go crazy for that, RJ?
No, I would love that. Although a lot of the audience,
I'm not saying that he's going to be a big part of the story. I just mean like that we'll see him.
I think we could see him. Yeah. The only thing I would say though is if it's a post-credit scene, like what Chillmongers described, some people in the audience go like, "Who the hell's this ugly-looking horse dude?" You know,
well,
like
I mean, well, we'll know, won't we?
We're gonna know. We're gonna know.
You know. And then I think a lot of like casual, like non like comic book fans who are like, you know, MCU fans, they might know too. You never know, like just from Thor Ragnarok, you know. So I think, you know, you never know.
Yo, nothing is not like attainable through knowledge, through Google. Comics Explained will probably do, oh, Good is amazing, Beta Ray Bill was there, and they'll get their information. That's his voice.
Yeah.
It's
but
amazing.
you know that, you know, you know, people was like, oh, you know how Twitter is, like people that know stuff, they post it, and you know, people be like, oh, okay, you know, and then they figure it out that way too, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and they're gonna claim they were fans of him for, like they are for Moon Knight right now. It happens.
Yeah, I can say I've knew very, very little about Moon Knight. I've read a few things.
But you don't pretend either. There's so many Twitter pretenders that it's amazing. It's like, bro, his comic sales are not doing what it seems like.
It's like I was
they're
always
not doing.
a big fan
It's
of
very
Moon Knight.
niche.
I knew everything about him.
It's very. He was very like a niche character. So it's like, you know, I don't.
Yeah, he's niche.
I got a message. What does that mean? I don't know if that means dot. I'm scared. What does he mean? I can't check Cash App. Remember? Sorry, guys.
No, you're fine.
He's like putting things in that like
Yeah, it's like check your messages, check your texts. It's like a pod is stream.
I know. What are you talking about? Go ahead. Someone say something. So
Daniel Martin says we got a teaser of him carved in the mountain along with a man thing in Ragnarok. I think it wasn't a mountain. It was like a building.
Well, it's like a thing about the other champions.
All the champions.
Which means maybe that's who the Hulk had to defeat to become champion.
He didn't mean to put it in chat, I guess. Sorry, guys.
Whoops.
Could have been.
You all. I'm going to.
What did y'all see that?
Can you all just talk for a minute so I can see what you're talking about? I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Well, along with the man thing, there was also, I think his name is Ares, the god of war. Is that it? His face was also in that big tower on Sakaar during the Hulk's. He could have defeated Ares also. We don't know.
Yeah, it could have been anybody. I agree.
Well, did y'all see that article from the Cosmic Circus? Lizzie Hill, who used to write for Murphy's Multiverse, she was the one who broke the story about Will Poulter being Adam Warlock. She got to that before any of the trades did. She's reporting that they're the actress from Outlander. I forget her name. She's playing Elsa Bloodstone in the Werewolf by Night Disney Plus special.
Okay. I thought he was like talking about something serious. He just sent me $10, so thank you for the donation, Dot. And his message says, For Thor, Love and Thunder, it will ruin theaters.
I kind of agree with him.
I can't believe we delayed the stream just for that.
I know. Right? I thought it was like a real. I'm so confused, guys. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, the actress's name that Lizzie Hill from Cosmic Circus is reporting is playing Elsa Bloodstone in Werewolf by Night is Laura Donnelly. Laura Donnelly. She was in Outlander and a couple other stuff. But yeah, apparently she's playing Elsa Bloodstone in Werewolf by Night, which is going to be a Disney Plus Halloween special later this year. Nice. It's filming right now, I believe. And apparently, I don't remember. I think it was on MCU or Marvel Studio Spoilers. There was like a link to something where they were talking about they're hiring like a VFX company to create a practical werewolf suit. So the werewolf in Werewolf by Night is going to be a practical effect. It's not going to be.
Now hold on a minute. Just because there's a suit, it doesn't mean they're not going to do both. The same way Rocket is actually a stand-in furry thing during the shooting.
No. I'm sure they're going to use some CG. What I'm saying though is that, like, for majority of the shots, they want to make a practical werewolf.
Okay, yeah,
like
it saves money. Werewolf. It is a TV series at the end of the day. No matter how much they want to pump it up and say that it matters just as much as the movies and shit. Watching Moon Knight, I can tell that there's definitely a TV series budget, and there's a freaking
because
isn't that right?
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna mention, just so you know, Cosmic Circus and Lizzie Hill. She used to write for Murphy's Multiverse, but she went to make her own website.
Yeah.
She was the first one who broke the story that Will Poulter was going to be Adam Warlock. She got to that before anybody else. So
yeah, I follow her. I remember when she used to be at Multiverse of Madness. I need to get. I don't know what's the name of hers now.
Yeah, I put a link to the article. It's called. Her new site's called the Cosmic Circus. It's a pretty decent website. It's nice.
I don't know. Okay, the Cosmic Circus. Let me pull it up right now.
Because I feel like Marvel's trying to set up the Midnight Suns. Like, that's like the next.
Oh yeah, they're going to do a different. It's going to have Moon Knight will be there.
Probably Elsa Bloodstone, Blade.
So you guys really think we're not going to get any more Avenger movies?
Oh no, we are. Yeah,
they have to do the Avengers movie.
I mean, especially if we all are. Everything that it looks like they're setting up all these different types of teams, right? So we can eventually get to Secret Wars, and there might be just different. It might be different groups of people that we think are going to be there, and that'll be maybe the X-Men, the Thunderbolts, and maybe the Midnight Suns, like all these different. They'll all come together in this multiverse film. Because you have to think they're going to up the ante again from Endgame, and how, what can you do, to up the ante? You have all these different groups come together, for Battle World.
But isn't Secret Wars supposed to be a series?
No, that's Secret Invasion.
Secret Invasion.
That's Secret Invasion.
Right. Secret Invasion. My bad.
So last January, it says that Deadline reported that the Never star Laura Donnelly would be joining Gal Garcia Bernal in the Werewolf by Night holiday special. With the report, Deadline mentioned that there's no official word on her character, but they say she's potentially could be Nina Price, who becomes Vampire by Night. Naturally, everyone seems to have been running with that, but as you can see by their wording, this appears to have been just a guess on their part. So what do you all think about this casting? Chill, what do you think? And then, that she's the Elsa Bloodstone, possibly.
I'm optimistic that she does the role properly, but it's not until I see her perform that I'll have a full freaking opinion. I will say this though about leaks or scoops and things like this. When it comes to this guy was casted for that, I don't really mind those. They don't really spoil nothing. It's just it gets me in the mood to watch Laura Donnelly movies and flicks, check out her filmography, like be familiar with her. It's more so when they reveal. Maybe like if Hugh Jackman, for example, if now Lizzie Hill posts Hugh Jackman seen on set, then I'd be kind of mad about that.
Yeah, no, I get that. I love the character of Elsa Bloodstone. She is criminally underrated. She's a really cool character. She's basically like she's like a monster hunter. She's like the Van Helsing of the MCU. Like she's a badass. She hunts vampires, monsters. Like she's part of like this whole Covenant thing. I mean, like. She's a really cool character. She's obviously really involved in like multiverse stuff a little bit. She's involved with like people like Kraven the Hunter, Morbius. Like she gets around. I thought if she's gonna pop up anywhere, it might be in like the Blade movie, but to get her on Disney Plus first, I mean that should be really cool. I'm not really familiar with Laura Donnelly and her work, but I think hopefully she does the character justice. But I think Elsa Bloodstone is going to be a really big character for like this whole monster world of the MCU they're going to be going forward with. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with that. But I definitely think you're going to see a lot of Elsa Bloodstone in the future if this is accurate. So
yeah, I was going to say, I don't know. I haven't seen the Nevers. Has anybody here?
The Nevers was like, the Nevers was like the last big Joss Whedon project.
Yeah. Have you seen the Nevers, Onzo?
No, I have not.
Look, Wikipedia put her as Elsa Bloodstone. There
but
you
go. See Dredd. Did I see Dredd on that list?
Dredd where? Up top of the movies? Yeah. 2009 Dredd.
Oh, okay.
She was also in a show called Outlander. I've heard of Outlander because my grandparents are really big into Outlander. It's like, oh, Outlander. It's like a Stars like historical fiction thing. There's a lot of sex in that show. It's like
Outlanders? I haven't seen.
It's like sex all the time.
Can you read some of the name of the films that she's been in, Shield? Because I can't really see it that good. Sorry.
We got Insatiable. She was Rachel. She was the lead. And then we got Dredd. She was Abby. We got Right Hand Drive. Ashley. So I don't understand why there's a 2009 and then like a 4-year break until Hello Carter in her next film. So that's bad, right? That means she's not getting work, isn't it? Or was
no, she was doing TV. She was doing TV in that because she was on Merlin and she was on a bunch of other stuff.
So she's more of a TV star than a movie star, huh?
Yes, she's done more TV than she's done. She's in that Tolkien movie,
Which makes sense. That it's on Disney Plus, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
maybe
an experience.
I don't. Yeah, because
that's good. That's a good sign. I like to hear that.
I mean, and she seems like she does a lot of supernatural. And the Nevers, I know, don't they like they have superpowers, don't they? And I know it's like,
some like that. I mean, listen, the Nevers was it was.
Is it?
I don't think she's a bad. I actually don't know. I assume she was the lead of a show before, though. I mean.
I don't know anything about this lady.
Where would it say if it's canceled? Here?
I don't know. The way you said it, I thought maybe it was canceled.
Oh, no. The next set of episodes is supposed to come out this year.
Okay. And she's the star of the show. Sorry. We're trying to figure out who this woman is, guys. I've never heard of this.
Yeah,
but like, how are we supposed to hear about her? She's still pretty young. Her age is where is it? Laura Donnelly, age 39. Oh, you know, she could be in more things.
But I
But
mean,
she can hold down a job.
Is she British?
Yeah, she's British. Yeah, she's British.
So she's been in a lot of
Northern Ireland.
Irish. She's Irish. See, I've never.
No, you have to say Northern Ireland. They actually are a completely different thing. They get really turned off when you call them Irish.
Oh, sorry. Hi, Max. What happened to Jill? There he is.
Oh.
There he
My
goes.
bad.
He himself.
I tried to stop sharing. I stopped camera. My bad.
Oh, look at him. Well, yeah, I don't know who she is. I'm interested and excited to see Werewolf by Night.
Yeah.
You know, to see this more like.
Are y'all familiar with the
supernatural-
Elsa Bloodstone?
I
am
I
not.
don't know a lot.
No.
I am familiar, but not. I haven't.
She's
I
been
know
in
who
a
the
couple
character is,
video
but
games.
not-
She was like in Ultimate Alliance 3, and she's been in like I
Yeah,
said, a lot
I
of
was going
like
to say
Avengers and Blade
I played
comics.
Ultimate Alliance 3. No, wait. Ultimate Alliance 3, is that with the Guardians?
Yes, that was
Okay,
one on the
shit.
Switch. The one that was on
okay,
the Switch. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
I read
played
her-
Guardians 3.
In like a 2018 Deadpool when Kelly Thompson was writing it. It was
Yeah,
the first issue.
she was in Deadpool. She's interacted with Deadpool a lot too. Yeah.
She was she's a monster hunter, which is what we saw her do there in that comic. She didn't wow me. I'm just like, oh, who's this new character I never heard of? She seems to have red hair, just like every other woman in Marvel right now. And yeah, no powers. Does she have superpowers?
Kinda,
she's just
yes, I believe so.
I thought she was
think
just
she
a
does.
skilled fighter.
She is. I think she has some kind of ability or curse, though. I don't remember. But
I mean, she
I don't
looks
know.
cool. She looks like the. I mean,
I
when
mean,
look at
Werewolf
her-
by Night as like a show in general. Well, it's not a show. It's going to be basically a Disney Plus movie. You know who's directing it, by the way?
No.
Who?
Michael Giacchino, the composer. He's directing it.
What?
What?
Yeah. You didn't know that? It was a big deal when they announced that. He's going to be directing
No,
for
I
like
don't remember
he's
that.
like, yeah, it's his first time directing. Or like
Well,
not
that
his
just shows
first
me what
time.
they
He's
think.
Well, no,
No, you
he's
can't just
directed
give
some
a
short
newbie-
films. He's directing some short films, but like I think this is his first like big production. I think he's directing and composing the special. Yeah, Michael
Well, I
Giacchino,
mean-
the guy who scored the Batman, the Spider-Man, Homecoming trilogy, all that stuff. Yeah, Star Trek.
Yes, I've starred your topic. I'm going to get to it next. I promise. I did not forget your question. Okay. I'm going to pull up the question. We're actually going to look at the little trailer that goes with your question. I did not forget. Okay. I have it starred. Go ahead, RJ. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Yeah, I just want to mention that because it's a really interesting thing to see Michael Giacchino being the one who directed it. I have no clue if that's going to result in a good product. I mean, they're filming in Atlanta right now, but I like Michael Giacchino, so
It's always
Yeah.
good to give new people.
I mean,
and
and he's an artist, and maybe he can, people can do more than one thing. Maybe it'll, and maybe it's how long? I wonder. So, do you think it'll be 90 minutes in length?
probably like a 90-minute movie. Yeah.
Okay, I'm excited.
I
mean,
have no
'cause
expectations.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a Halloween
I know.
special.
I just like to
what does
to
that
think
mean? Like, is
what,
it like
what
a?
does that mean? Does that mean it's
Yeah.
an hour? Or like, is it
like
an hour,
30 minutes? Because is it 30
I hope
minutes?
it's not
Is it...
30 minutes. I'll be like, or is it like a instead of calling it a series, it's like a 2-part thing,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
You know?
Like, because we know we're getting like the Guardians
So
of the
many
Galaxy holiday
questions.
special. Isn't the holiday special this year as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, is that a movie or is that like a little mini show? Like, what is it? They got to work on like the phrasing, what a special means.
So you got to
Yeah.
give them points for creativity. However, like he's not too experienced. There probably isn't going to be like a heavy burden or a heavy load or of story to progress during this Werewolf by Night little mini thing that they're doing. So I'm not going to treat it with the exact same level of reverence I have for Doctor
Well,
Strange.
there is a rumor. Again, this is just a rumor. There is a rumor that they're gonna like use Werewolf by Night to set up stuff for the Blade movie.
Yes,
I mean, like I
did hear
said,
that.
like because they're supposed to be connected. Plus, Moon Knight's connected to Werewolf by Night too, so maybe Moon Knight could show up. I don't know. It's all speculation, but I mean, it might be important to like some stuff, but like not like advancing the overall story, like you mentioned.
Last year, people were saying, "Look, there's a cosmic MCU, and then there's an Earthbound MCU, a grounded MCU." And I'm thinking,
and they're
actually,
supernatural. They were saying they're
one.
all yeah.
I don't think that they're as connected as that. Like, there's really is a third one called Supernatural, where Blade and everything that happened with the Ebony Blade in the end of Eternals, I feel like that's all part of one story. They'll culminate within themselves. Probably will all be Disney Plus featured stuff where they would show up on each other's shows, but it really won't connect, even though it will be considered the same universe as everyone else. It really won't interact with Thor. Won't interact really much with the rest,
unless there's Secret Wars or something like that. Kind of like the Guardians, like they all don't come together until like the epic conclusion of the full arc and the full story that they're going to try to get to. It'll be just like that. I agree, completely. So I'm going to pull up his question. He says, and then we'll react to the trailer because I don't know anything about this show. Have you all heard about the DC show Sandman? It's going to be on Netflix.
Nope.
Yes, I've heard of it. It's based on the Neil Gaiman comics. For I believe it was DC Vertigo. Why this show went to Netflix, not HBO Max, I have no clue. Just another L on Warner Brothers' part of the previous regime, because it should be their show, not Netflix's. But whatever.
It's weird because when
it's a DC show, it's a DC show. It's the thing, yeah.
Yo, hear me out though. Remember how Daredevil and Punisher all came to Disney Plus? Maybe look, we'll sell it, we'll make someone else have it, but in long term, forever in perpetuity, it's gonna stay and live on the DC streaming service HBO Max.
But why? I mean,
why not shop it out to another company? Why not?
That just seems very weird to me.
It's weird, but it helps them make money. That's the thing. Like, if you need the money,
you're building your own streaming service, and you need original content.
Yeah, well, that's the weird thing too with that's what I was gonna mention when it comes to Sony. Sony's just selling themselves to everybody. It's like, okay, we'll go to Netflix first, and y'all can go. Then afterward, we'll go to Disney and we'll get both their monies. Like, okay, like, all right.
So reportedly, the budget is over $160 million. Did you hear that, RJ?
No, I didn't know that expensive.
Can you confirm? I was going to see.
How many episodes?
That. I don't know. I just found out literally about this show.
If it's 8 episodes, I'm impressed if it's 8 episodes or something like that. But if it's stretched out to 20 episodes, then no, I would not be impressed.
Yeah. How many episodes, Parkour? How many? So we're going to look at this trailer. I haven't seen this. Have any of you seen this? No, nope. Right?
No.
Anzo? All right, and we'll give you our thoughts and opinions. Anzo,
it already sucks.
Sometimes.
We will achieve what no one has even attempted. We will summon and imprison death. I give you a coin made from a stone. And I give you a feather pulled from an angel's wing. I give you blood from my veins. We summon you together!
Okay, look cool.
Death has family, desire, destiny, despair.
Which one have I got?
Dream. You're gonna need all the help you can get.
Such a short teaser. But it has like a big cast. I think there's a lot of people involved with it. So
11 episodes apparently is roughly the amount of episodes. What did you all think of the trailer? I don't think that's for me, but I don't really watch Netflix. I don't really watch Netflix anymore, really.
Ashley, you're the sole reason Netflix may be dying right now. They're exactly why. It's like that's why their stocks take 50%.
Yeah, it's just like the reason why and then we'll get back to this. I don't do Netflix is because there's so much stuff on there, and I end up scrolling for so long because I'm horrible at making a choice. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And then I get overwhelmed, and then I'm like scrolling, and it's been 2 hours, and I've not watched anything.
No, the auto scrolling at night. It's just like that happens to me. Me and my dad will sit on the couch if we're hanging out together and want to watch. It's like, let's go look at Netflix. We scroll for an hour looking at stuff. It's like, screw. We're just gonna go watch something on YouTube.
I do need to watch the second half of Ozark, so I do need to watch that.
Ozark
So
ending on Netflix. I can't wait. That's what I'm waiting to watch. Ozark when that comes on. Yeah.
So I will be watching Ozarks, but anything else on Netflix, unless it's something that is coming there.
So you don't watch your
interested in.
Netflix, but you haven't canceled your subscription.
I mean, my kid uses it,
Okay. Mm.
but I don't.
Are you
I
excited for Stranger
never
Things?
open. I don't like it. My kid loves it.
I
I'm
like
not,
Stranger
like-
Things. I haven't even seen the trailer yet. I haven't watched it yet. I keep saying I'm gonna watch the trailer and then I never do.
Yeah, I'm not a Stranger Things person. Chill, are you into Stranger Things?
I've seen a couple episodes. I think it's cool, but it's not for me. I don't watch it.
Yeah, like RJ. So you're big Stranger fans? Stranger fan? I said Stranger
It's
fans.
good.
Stranger Things fan.
I mean, I like it. I'm not obsessed with it like a lot of people are. But I mean, it's taken 3 or 4 years since season 3, and I don't remember anything about the show because it took so long, and I have bad memory. So it's I had to watch
You gotta
recap videos to
rewatch.
get ready for season. I'm not gonna rewatch it. Screw that. I was gonna watch a recap video to
So
remind
you didn't
me.
like it that much?
No, I like it. I like it. It's a
But
fun
not
show.
enough to
I like-
rewatch it, RJ.
But
Not enough to
season-
rewatch it though. Yes.
Season 3 wasn't that good though. Season 3 was okay. Season 1 and 2 I enjoyed.
Well, season
but
1's amazing. Season 1 was
season
amazing.
It's great, but season 3 was kind of meh. So I hope
I
they.
think I like the season 4 trailer though. The trailer that
didn't
came
watch
out,
it.
I
I didn't
liked
watch
it.
it.
It was pretty good.
What do you guys think if Netflix did a series? You binge it all, except that last episode, they'll wait 1 week to drop the final episode.
I'd hate that.
I would
I would
hate
hate
that.
that.
I would if I'm gonna wait a week. Okay, cool, but you can't give me that was. You,
So let me
I
reverse
hate
it then,
when-
Ashley. Ashley, I'll flip it. How about you get the first episode 1 week, and they'll say next week the whole series comes. Would you like that?
Only the first episode was really good.
Yeah. I
Okay.
mean, I could do that, but I would be like, why did you do that though?
Yeah,
you
no,
know what I mean?
don't do that for me. Just give me the whole
And
thing.
you know
or just give
another
me
thing
two.
that I don't like is when they give you 3 episodes of something all at once, and that was originally. And I'm going to bring this up about Peacemaker. When I first started watching Peacemaker, right, that night when it dropped, I watched the first episode, and I wasn't a big fan of the first episode, right? I told you all that. And then the second one, and I was like, this is getting annoying. And at that point, I wasn't big on Vigilante, from what I saw of him. And then the first half of the third episode, I was like, this is a little nasty, at parts. But then once I got past, I stopped it. I was like, this is too much of Peacemaker for me to watch 3 of these episodes back to back. And you remember, I initially hated it because I felt like it was too much all at once. Some shows for me, it's good to let it breathe. You know what I'm saying? What do you all think about that? Or do you want all of it all the time? Or are you okay week to week? What do you think, RJ?
Well, I'm glad you brought up Peacemaker because that's a great example. Because when that dropped, I watched the first 3 episodes. The first one I was like, okay. Second one, I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Wasn't into it. The third episode, though, I really liked the third episode. So by the end
I
of
like
that,
the second half, yeah.
Yeah, because by the end, the second half of the third episode, okay, I'm on board with this show. This is good. And the first 3 episodes acted as one big prologue, basically. It was one big first episode to get you hooked on the show. By the end of that third episode. So then I was like, okay, I'm interested. And then I kept watching it week to week, and I'm like, damn, this show's actually good. I was like, I didn't like the first 2 episodes, but after the first 2 episodes, a rocky start, but I feel like it was just again, by the end of that third episode, I'm like, okay, I'm hooked.
Yeah.
One of the big shows I liked last year was Arcane, and what Arcane did is that they dropped the first 3 episodes together, then they dropped the next 3 episodes the next week, and they kept doing that until the show ended. And I kind of like that idea, where it's you drop 3 episodes every week, and then it's you kind of get to binge it, but you still get the weekly release model too. So
that's Not a bad idea, but I have so sometimes when it's a good show, I'm like, damn man, I wish they would have just dropped this the whole time. You know what I mean? Like you're jonesing for that next episode. There's a few shows like that where and then
What was the name of
shows
that Kevin Hart story again? Anza, say it.
true stories. True
If
stories.
that would have been a weekly, I might not have like maybe because like with each episode that you watch, I watched with that, I got more and
Hmm.
more into it.
Interested,
So for
right?
me, that show being able to binge that, I think it did that a service, because you got
Right.
it all at once. Sorry, go ahead,
Hmm.
Anzo. I just wanted
No,
to
no,
bring
you're
that up.
right. And even for me, like I love Cobra Kai, right? So when Cobra Kai comes out, boom, I binge it. So I enjoy that. Sometimes I do enjoy doing the week to week thing, but I guess it all depends on the show for me, like you just said, man. Because some shows I'm like, okay, yeah, I like it. Like the Halo show, it's like, meh, it's not that great. Week to week,
I checked out of Halo.
I wouldn't
I didn't even
mind.
try it because everybody told me it was no good. It wasn't any good, and then I saw
First
clips of it, and I was
episode
like,
for
"This
me
ain't for
was
me."
fire.
I liked the first episode, but after that, I was like, it was a snooze fest. I
Yeah,
did hear
yeah.
episode 5 though, the one that came out today was actually really good. So
It towards the end, yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. But it's still like you said, it was a snore fest, right? So that one they keep it week to week, I'm fine with it. You know what I mean? So it all
Chill.
depends for me.
I'm sorry.
No,
Chill. What
no,
did you
yep.
think?
About like the presentation of 3 instead of a
Or no,
binge.
about and would you? How do you feel? Would you prefer to have it all at once, or do you like the week to week release on these streaming services like Disney
Well,
Plus and
if it's
certain
about
and HBO
preference,
Max?
week
Mhm.
by week, so that I can speak about each one, I could do an actual like focus on what we would present it. But if it's something like WandaVision gave us 3 episodes, they were supposed to give us 3 episodes at once. What RJ said about Peacemaker, which was the first 3 served as one major episode. Well, then they weren't 3 episodes; they were one episode. Whether they divided it,
Mhm.
it
and
probably should
pretended.
just been one big episode, to be honest. But
The
whatever.
beginning of Bad Batch, remember how that was just one big episode? They didn't pretend like you were getting
I
3.
like that though. I like that the first episode of Bad Batch was like a big movie. I love that actually.
Well, it's because
I
they understood and they didn't treat it like episodes. It's against what the word episode stands for.
factual. I would say with WandaVision, I mean, we did get the 3 episodes at once. And with WandaVision, it didn't bother me as much. And I know Anzo, when we're talking about WandaVision, he doesn't like it. But I liked I like week to week releases normally. I liked it with,
Yeah.
Falcon Winter Soldier. I loved it with Mando. Like I love it with Better Call Saul. Like all the shows I
WandaVision proved
watch
why
because
the
it gets me
weekly
hyped.
yeah.
Yeah, go
Yeah.
ahead, RJ.
No, I was gonna say WandaVision proved with the weekly release format why that's such a good thing. That show became a cultural phenomenon because that discussion week to week where everyone's like, what the heck's going on? What does this mean? Like, what's going on? Is this like, because everyone's trying to like solve the mystery and play along with the show. And that was really fun. It was really fun to be part of that because it felt like you were like part of a conversation. When Stranger Things 3 came out, it came out July 4th weekend. I think it was 2016, 2018. I don't even remember. When that came out, right, everyone talked about it for the first weekend. Everybody watched it because it was a holiday weekend. Everyone talked about it. The next week, silence. The conversation was dead. Nobody was talking about it, and that was really sad. Because it was fine. There's stuff to talk about, but if you weren't part of the conversation, you didn't watch it right when it came out, you missed that. You missed the whole conversation.
That's the issue with the binge watching, right? The show comes out, people watch it, they binge watch it, you talk about it for like even a week at the most. Then after that, no one talks about the show anymore.
I think that for with Disney Plus and HBO Max, it works well for them the way that they do it because like again, especially if it's like one of these big like a DC property or a Marvel property or Star Wars, if it gets you the conversation going for the week, people are engaged in it and then they're ready for the next one. So if you thank you, Daniel. I'll check. Thank
But for
you.
me,
Appreciate
as
you.
long as we get some shows that they keep doing the binge and some are week to week, I'm fine. But if they were to like do everything week to week, I might have an issue with that. Or if
well, the one
everything
time
was
I
a
remember,
binge.
the one time I remember a show and its weekly release format kind of working against it a little bit was Book of Boba Fett. Now, Ashley, I don't know how you felt about the Book of Boba Fett. No, you weren't a fan?
Okay. Well, here it was. This is how I felt about the Book of Boba Fett. I actually liked it a lot in the beginning, and I was like one of those people that was standing up for the Book of Boba Fett, because I enjoyed it. And then when we got, it was around episode 4 where things start to go on the decline.
Yeah, episode 3 and 4 were the ones people really hated. Yeah.
And then when we got to the Mando stuff, I was like, okay, cool. One episode, I get it. You know, give it. You know,
episode 6, get Luke Skywalker.
and it's just like, and then there he is again, like, and
it's all upset about him and Luke and Ahsoka.
And then in the finale, even though what I really, really hated was Grogu making that decision in the Book of Boba Fett to come back, and we didn't see it, and it was not in The Mandalorian. That bothered me a lot, because it's mainly should be Amando's in his show.
So your problem is the title of the show. If the title would have been Mandalorian, you'd have been fine. No,
I'm not done. It's just like, I really didn't like it, and we didn't get to see Grogu make the decision. It was rushed. It was just like, he's here.
The finale was a little sloppy because I'm just like, we only had like a year to deal with that choice of him going with Luke, and then the next show immediately. Like, I thought that'd be a thing of Mando. I don't know. My whole thing though is that like when episode 3 and 4 came out, people were like, "Oh my god, the show! Can it be saved? Can it like this and that?" Everyone's like freaking out. It's like, and we had to wait, and then episode 5, the one with Mandalorian, directed by Bryce Dallas Howard, fantastic, amazing episode.
It's sad.
Changed everything.
Sad. It really changed everything. You, as much as I liked the first 2 episodes, and
like Mando came to save the show.
Third, like as soon as he came in, it was like, oh, this is what this needed, but it wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't.
It's not Boba Fett. Needed him to interject like life and energy into the show.
Yeah, and the finale, I had some problems with the finale, but I dealt with it. I loved episode 5. I loved episode 6 though, the one with the Luke and Ahsoka and Grogu training. That was a phenomenal episode for me. I love that episode so much, and the reveal of Cad Bane at the end, I was losing my mind.
I know.
And then the finale, it's just like, you know.
And
I'm like,
I know there's like a question. He might not be dead because you know his
chest was.
I don't think he's dead.
But I hope not, because that's like to bring him in just to kill him. That
in the next episode, Cad Bane should have been introduced way earlier. Like way earlier.
Yeah,
he should have been like episode 2 or 3.
He should have been the main antagonist for the whole show.
Mm-hmm. Not just working with the Pikes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't give a crap about the Pikes. Okay. Like they're nameless guys who killed his Tusken. I like the Tusken Raider stuff too. In episode 2, I liked that stuff.
I loved it. I loved like the tribal elements and the feel of it, you know, in all of that, and I thought it was really, really cool. I know a lot of people didn't like that stuff. I enjoyed it a lot. Chill.
And even the Mando episode, I'm sorry, that episode was not good. All they did was fix that ship. We got the girl
directing, though, man.
We got the girl talking about, you know, dating the Jawa and all kinds of crap. And I'm sorry, she is the worst character. She's worse than Jar Jar.
Oh no!
Nothing's
worse than Jar Jar.
No, she is worse than Jar Jar. She's not funny. She takes me out of the show so much. She's way worse than Jar Jar.
Her name is Pelimoto, and she's great.
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
she's not.
So Chill, but thank you, because I would have asked Chill, what did you think about the Book of Boba Fett?
Well, I disagree with your like takes on Grogu. Wow, we missed his decision. We should have saw it. Well, the reason that they didn't show you is the reason we're having this conversation about episodes. You're supposed to wait, have the fans speculate. I can't believe what he's gonna do. Oh, there's no way he doesn't choose the Beskar armor. Yeah, but what about the studio? Because they know that Grogu's the moneymaker. They can't keep him with Luke. That's gonna cost too much money. Like all these things were talked about, and then we get the surprise in the 7th episode. So yeah, it served a lot of purposes for not exactly showing his decision. You draw things out in episodes.
If you're a Star Wars guy, you know that's
but I
the
wanted
decision.
to see that moment in the episode where he made the decision.
Well, you got the decision 7 days later, Ashley. Don't be so selfish.
But it wasn't on screen,
I'm saying on
though.
that 7 days later, it wasn't on screen. That's the problem, Chill. I wanted to see him wrestle with that decision.
Well, I don't even mind that. Like, I can forgive them not showing the decision, but like rushing Grogu and Mando's reuniting to where it's like the junk, the mechanic lady takes the baby in the middle of a war field. It's like, oh, I didn't know. Here he is. It's just like, it was a cute moment. I loved the moment, but I'm just like, damn it! Like, it should have been like had a bigger impact, you know.
And they bring Yoda to Mando, and
Yoda.
no one is in. I mean, sorry, Grogu. They bring Grogu to Lando, and it's only R2 in the X-wing.
Well, yeah, because Luke is probably busy like with the temple and talk. Like maybe it's something that they'll be addressing in the Ahsoka show.
Luke already said how important this baby is. You don't think he would have at least escorted the baby to Mando?
Well, he's really expensive. They don't want you to take these Luke appearances.
Plus two, they can't have Luke interact with Boba Fett. Maybe too. That could be an issue as well because they have a history.
No, I get it, but I think they should have found another way to do that.
I mean,
like maybe you know what they should have done? It would have sucked. It would have really sucked, but they shouldn't have even revealed what choice he made until Mando season 3.
I could agree with that.
They should have waited until then. Like that's all you get until Mando season 3.
Yeah, and like why? Like that was another thing. I know everybody thought it was cool that Luke was there, and like of course he was there because of Grogu, but it just. I just felt like it just seemed so out of place in the story that you were trying to tell, and by the end,
it was. It felt like it was a Mando episode, not a Boba Fett episode. Yeah, it was really good though. That's the problem. It's so good. Yeah. It's like those 2 episodes are amazing, but they don't fit in terms of pushing the Boba Fett storyline. It's like we took a detour somewhere else.
Yes. Nerdman wants to marry you, Alonzo. He asked for your hand in marriage.
Not in this lifetime.
Disney Plus shows need to stop, but only 6 episodes only gives us 9 episodes. Then they need to stop. Give us 1 episode. People are getting 4 or 3 episodes before us.
Oh, he's talking about the press getting access to like shows.
Oh, okay.
Because like with Moon Knight, the press got the first 4 episodes, and then
they got
Disney
the first 4.
Disney accidentally sent some people the 5th episode, so some people have already seen the 5th one. Which I've heard some things. It'll be interesting. So,
well, I have to hear this.
Would you be pleased if the things that you heard were actually false? The same way I was talking about how we can't believe these rumors.
The things that, this is just conjecture. Like I think Lizzie Hill talked about stuff that the 5th episode talks about. I'm very, very excited. I hope it's just good. I mean, like I said, it's someone else's thoughts on an episode. I might feel really differently, but I hope I like it as much as they did. So,
to your question, Chill, I would be like, if I read something, I would kind of hope it's wrong, but what if what you read is so good you can't wait to see it and then it's wrong? You know what I mean? That would be annoying. But
like with WandaVision, when everyone said Doctor Strange was going to show up, and then everyone got upset.
But then it turns out you weren't too wrong for thinking it because it was in the plans.
So we have a question for Chili. What do you think of Maria Rambeau as Captain Marvel in Doctor Strange 2?
don't know where he's coming from this. Like, is it from the direction of, oh, look, they gave a white character a black character name, or do you mean just like seeing her as Captain Marvel as like a variant? It's a variant. I don't care about what if stories and what variants.
Maybe they're asking from both perspectives.
From both perspectives.
From the perspective of a variant version of Captain Marvel, yeah, that's what a multiverse is. They're going to show you Doctor Strange's and a whole bunch of other people who we recognize just casted differently. So, whatever. It rolls off my shoulders. But if you're looking at it from like, they took from a black character, for Captain Marvel, I don't see it that way. I might have said this to you, Ashley, one time when you were on my stream, but like when it comes to like Captain America, okay, Sam Wilson took from Steve Rogers and the whole recasting, reskinning thing. I hate that. But when it came to Captain Marvel, because the original Captain Marvel was actually Marvel, and then it was Monica Rambeau, and then Carol Danvers gets it. It's not like there's a country of Marvel. You know, there's no duties that come with being Captain Marvel. It was really just a name that transferred over. She didn't get her powers. She didn't get anything other than the company that writes their comics stopped calling this character Captain Marvel, began calling that character Captain Marvel. So I don't see the Captain Marvel swapping as what I see Spider-Man and how I see like all the other people who recast.
Well, to your point as well, I feel like it makes a lot of sense for Lashana Lynch to be like a Captain Marvel variant because it's such a perfect what if story. Because again, they were both there when that flight happened that got Carol her powers. Like, what if it was just Maria who got it, who was the one who was impacted by like the one who crashed or whatever versus Carol? Perfect what if. I wouldn't be shocked that's a what if episode. Like, what if Maria Rambeau became Captain Marvel? I would like to see that. By the way, speaking of that, what if season 2 drops this year?
But is it?
It's this year.
It's not. It's in the fall, right?
It's in the fall, yeah. What if season 2 is this fall? Which I'm looking forward to it, kinda. I hope. I mean, they should be doing some interesting things to that, hopefully. No zombie episode that'll get its own show, which God help us all with that. But but
I hated that episode.
I liked it in concept. I liked like the introduction, how they explained how the zombies came to the MCU, like it being like a quantum realm disease. That was really cool. That was like a spinoff of Ant-Man and the Wasp. Cool. But the tone was all over the place. Like either commit to it being a horror story or a comedy. You can't do both.
It was just so silly, wasn't it? The zombies.
And then Thanos got the zombie Thanos with the gauntlet at the end. Like what?
Yeah, I agree with you. The floating head was a little bit too much.
And we were all really excited for the zombie episode. I remember that. And
best episode was still the Captain Carter episode and the Doctor Strange episode. Those are my favorites.
Doctor Strange episode was the best episode, hands down. And I think the part 1 to this season finale with Vision and the Watcher fighting, I think that was
that was great. Yeah, with the Ultron. That was really cool.
I said Vision, Ultron, my bad.
I still wish it was James Spader that did the voice though, but
Oh, what's funny? I thought it was gonna be him because when I went to IMDb, it showed him he was supposed to be in the cast. So
did you guys like the Killmonger episode?
I didn't hate it.
I liked it. I liked it. I
liked that one. People didn't seem to like that one, but I kind of enjoyed it.
So did I.
What did you like the Killmonger episode? Chillmonger?
I didn't watch it because it's what if and it doesn't count.
It does count.
It does count. You
gotta watch it before Doctor Strange 2.
It does.
The one episode of What If I watched was the Doctor Strange episode because I saw the trailer and I go, okay, maybe this will matter.
You gotta watch all of them, dude. They're all gonna tie into Doctor. Yeah, Captain Carter.
Well, says who?
The poster.
Says the rumors. Says Lizzie.
No, the poster.
Wait, Captain Carter's on the poster.
They've said it. Kevin Feige said it.
They said it.
I feel like I get it. I feel like I know. Look, I don't need the poster to tell me what happens. What happens is instead of Steve getting it, it's canon in the multiverse, sure. But like what happens in the Captain Carter episode is that Steve doesn't become the super soldier. She does. I think I got the premise.
Her story continues in the finale. Yeah.
Well, how long is Multiverse of Madness? 2 hours and 6 minutes. Her story is not going to be touched on.
No, in the sense of what if she comes back.
Yeah, what they said. What if is canon to the MCU?
Yeah.
Like it's part of like the phase.
Yes.
It's canon to the multiverse, sure. So maybe the character will appear in Multiverse of Madness, sure. Haley Atwell is getting a paycheck, but I do not care to know how her first adventure went as Captain America. Britain.
I love the way you won't let me troll Onzo in peace. You have to get me on the panel to troll Onzo. You won't let me troll him in peace.
You don't want to be on my panel.
And the Nerdman's here, so
it's our anniversary, guys. This is
Nerdman's here. I gotta
Nerdman's
go.
anniversary, and he is treated
the
so
menace
badly.
is here.
You know, I've been kind to you.
No, I want to come on the panel, but you're talking about shit I don't.
I know we were talking about Star Wars. This is just like a free flow conversation. I just did the stream open topics. Like there's no set plan. Whatever comes up, that's what we talk about. You know.
And we already talked about trash DC Nerdman. So
what if
your feelings really on
Thor was God tier? That's all I know. That Thor episode, God tier.
That was
trolling, guys.
Yeah, that's a troll.
I hated
that was the prologue to Thor: Love and Thunder.
That I agree with. That could definitely be right.
Listen to Shifty's comment here.
Is that true?
You know who Haley Atwell's dating? Tom Cruise.
Is that true? I thought Tom Cruise was single.
I mean,
nah, that's a lie, isn't it?
Nah, I think Tom Cruise is single. I didn't hear about him dating
for him.
Let me confirm.
Is that the British chick?
Yes, the one that plays
Peggy Carter.
Peggy Carter.
Oh,
yes.
Peggy Carter.
She's also going to be in the new Mission Impossible movies.
So maybe they are her. Maybe they met on the set.
Oh,
they've called. It says they broke up. They were dating.
Oh,
it says they were broke up.
Do you think there's a porn called Missionary Impossible?
Why don't you Google it? Go to your favorite site.
I just thought about it. I was like, maybe there is.
Go to your favorite site, bro.
Your son.
I don't need porn. I just look at images of you on so.
I know you do. Hey man, I can't help it if you guys want to look at me. Just know that it don't go the same way. But if you want to look, go right ahead. You know what I mean?
Here's another question for Chill.
You can turn that
camera
on.
It says, if Rogue took Miss Marvel's powers, then why can't she shoot photon blasts from her hands and no cosmic force field, no cosmic awareness?
First of all, Miss Marvel, MS period is pronounced Ms. at like the wrestler Miz, not Miss. Yeah. And then I don't know the answer to that question. Kentucky. I think she only sucked up like. I say it, no, dude. It is Ms. in Kentucky, Ohio, Mexico.
That's how we say it here. That's how we come here and that's how we say it.
Does Captain Marvel have cosmic awareness?
Yeah, like a little spider sense type thing. She's supposed to, but I don't think the movies depicted that.
Oh, that's kind of an interesting power. They should kind of use that.
So the answer to your question,
interesting powers, Yeah, go on. Sorry,
is that like I remember in the anime, Rogue sucks her, but like it's sort of like half of her powers that she gets, so that's where the flying and shit comes from. But in the fucking comic books, which comic was it? It was like Avengers Annual, and then we just sort of start the comic book with Carol getting her powers sucked, and so we never actually see the moment Rogue takes her powers. So I can't say like, oh, she only sucked half of her powers or something. I can't answer that.
Yeah, I don't know. Captain Marvel's not my.
You think that's how they give Rogue her power in the MCU?
Well, no, she doesn't.
I think so.
Do you believe the X-Men animated series? Did you watch all of that?
Yeah.
Season 1, 2, and 3.
I watched season 1 when it came on Disney Plus. I just didn't follow through. Maybe I should now that they're gonna actually continue the show.
See, you are such a fake Marvel fan.
What was the question? What did you just ask? What did you just ask?
See what I mean? See what I mean about these guys?
What did you just ask? What did he just ask?
If we watched the X-Men the animated series. Did you watch it?
I did.
I haven't watched it.
You're a real one, though, so I knew you would.
But I've watched
Wait, did you watch it recently, Onzo, or when you were younger?
I watched it when first Disney Plus came out. when I
Yeah,
watched
I
Gargoyles
watched
and
the
all that
first two
stuff.
episodes, but
You see
I
that?
didn't
A real
rewatch.
one. You see that? We're back.
I've seen it before,
Have you
but
seen
I
all
only
three seasons?
I've seen the entire show before. I mean, it's been a
Oh,
long
okay.
time, but
I still haven't watched the
started
last two
rewatching it,
seasons.
and I was watching. I watched that, and what else did I watch? I
I even
watched
watched Wolverine and the X-Men.
I watched
That one's
all
not
the
so
stuff.
good though.
Oh, I loved
Yeah.
it.
Wolverine and the X-Men.
I was so-
X-Men Evolution is quite good, but Wolverine and the X-Men.
X-Men Evolution's fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah.
The one I
But-
didn't watch. I didn't watch. I seen a few.
But none of them are as good as the 90s X-Men.
No, of
like the
course.
first three seasons.
By
the
the way,
last
in
two
X-Men
seasons were
Evolution,
terrible.
In X-Men Evolution, whatever
four
big
seasons.
brain guy decided to make Rogue a goth Southern belle, props to you.
Yeah.
Sir. Props to you.
Why? Why props to him? Why?
Because it's amazing.
It's
I
trash.
like it too.
Rogue and X-Men Evolution is just
Rogue in fucking my god, Rogue in the original X-Men animated series.
They're both
crushes.
fantastic. They're both
Yeah,
fantastic.
absolutely.
Crushes.
I mean, yeah, she is.
They're both good. Don't get me
Way
wrong. They're both
better.
good. I'm just saying.
No. That one's trash. The other one's good. I don't
Rogue
know
and
where
X-Men
you
Evolution's
get
great. What are you talking
X-Men
about?
Evolution. She's so I just can't stand how depressing. Oh, I've got these powers. I can't touch. It's like that's the whole point of Rogue. Like the fact that she has those powers, yet she's still a fun
that's also about
is what's cool about her. Like you just take all of that away. You take all the personality away from her. It's terrible.
Here's a good question. Did anybody
Sorry.
watch Legion? Has anybody seen Legion?
No.
Here on
Terrence
the-
told me. Terrence told me it's good though, but I never watched
Chillmonger, have you
it.
seen Legion?
Never have, and I don't think they're bringing him back.
I hear it's good though.
Yeah, I heard it.
Nerd Man.
Hey, but Ashley, it's canon.
No, it's not.
It's in the multiverse. It's canon.
I've seen it.
My baby dots didn't just say
talks
that.
at it.
My baby dots did not just say that.
But I mean, I would be cool if they bring. I don't think that they'll bring that version from that television series if they bring Legion in.
Gargoyles is better than
And,
the original
the
X-Men
characters.
Are you? No.
Gargoyles. I'm not
no.
seeing
I
this.
love gargoyles.
I
but
love
no.
gargoyles, man.
Me
Don't
too.
sleep on gargoyles.
No,
I
gargoyles.
cannot believe my baby dots just said that. What
But
are you doing?
I
What are
think
you doing?
I think the X-Men '90s series, they did the Dark Phoenix saga so good. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
The X-Men cartoon is fantastic. Let's not. I mean, it's amazing. Nerd Man, are you excited that Kevin Feige has brought back the original X-Men show? Your Lord and Savior Feige.
What do you mean he brought it back?
Well,
He's
they're
bringing
doing
it back. They're
second
making a
season.
new. Yeah, they're making,
a new season.
Yeah.
X-Men '97. Yeah, it's a continuation of the original show.
You know what? I think that's cool and everything, but there's so much more untapped potential with the X-Men books and like bringing it to live action. Fox are fucking idiots. I mean, they really have to be stupid. Like
That's why I'm glad they're no longer in control.
No, the MCU isn't any better. I know they're going to do the same stupid shit.
But just think
I
about
know they're
about
gonna do the
what
same stupid
Fox
shit.
did though. The same.
Fox destroyed X-Men, man. They ran.
All right,
and the
tell me
same writers who
what-
did
Completely.
X-Men: The Last Stand came back and
Oh my
did
God.
Dark Phoenix.
Dark Phoenix.
What would you do if you owned their rights to the X-Men for movies and cartoons? Tell me right now.
No, you're right, Nerd Man.
I would just do what the '90s cartoon did. Just translate that to live action. That's all you need.
Okay, you can do anything. You that's all you do.
Why try and not try and replicate perfection? Like you bring those sensibilities from that cartoon into what you do with the live action. Simple as that.
Live action.
If-
Is that
if-
it? And
if
that's
I-
it?
Same
no.
loving care.
If I had it, I would take a lot of the storylines from the comic. I would build up to Age of Apocalypse. I would do the Onslaught storyline. I would do those type of things with the
Look at
X-Men.
this. actually, look, what did Shifty say? He said they won't touch Legion, Onslaught, or Age of Apocalypse until like 15, 20 years from now when the MCU is winding down, because they can't do a whole phase with that series.
Well, that's why it's so important they got the X-Men, because that right there, those storylines Shifty just mentioned, that's like 15 years of stories right there that they can tell. If they plan it right.
All right, I'll tell you what I would do. I would bring out Generation X, X-Force, all of those. I would make like animated series for Generation X, following the comics, like the early comics, not the new ones. X-Force, all of those, and then like after about a year, maybe hopefully they gain a little bit popularity. Then bring out the Generation X movies, X-Force movies, and X-Men movies, and then you can do little crossovers between them in the movies as well, crossover worlds, all of that kind of thing. And I would separate the X-Men universe from the MCU for a little bit, and then do a multiverse. Then do a multiverse movie between them, where the X-Men meet the Avengers.
Well, why would you separate
X-Men verse? Why would you have the X-Men in the MCU?
Because it's how the comics work, and why would you not want to capitalize on that right away? It automatically differentiates them from what came before.
Because the MCU is a silly, jokey universe, and it does not fit the X-Men.
But they can fit
it. Doesn't.
But did you? Okay, if you like Black Widow, right?
Yeah.
And what was one of the main reasons you said? Because a lot of the jokes were contained to one person, right? And it wasn't as jokey, and the tone was slightly different.
I think the tone was slightly different. I thought the jokes were funnier and worked in context of the story. They weren't just like, oh, I need to put a joke in here and there. And also, yeah, they established, okay, so for instance, Red Guardian, he's a funny character. I get it. And he's a unique funny character. He's not just like some stock funny character that they keep on taking from one film to another film. So he was an original comic character. It worked, his comedy. They got the right actor to do it. And yeah, altogether it worked. And the rest of it was comedy that came from the situation rather than comedy that was just forced or injected into there unnaturally. Plus, the film was good. It had good action, set pieces. It had a good kind of journey for Black Widow. I like how she grew from like not really wanting to go back to her family to then, you know, through the story, her and Yelena kind of get how would you put it? Like they get they come together basically. Like that's the journey of the story, and then she finally accepts her sister, and she accepts the imperfect family that she had, even though it wasn't perfect. At least it was somewhat a family. And yeah, I thought that all was good. All of that worked. The only thing that I could say as a critic, I could criticize it for, was they turned the villain into
brainless.
Well, no, I didn't even care about. I didn't care about the villain.
You know.
Yeah.
Mind controlled. Yeah, but what I'm saying is it. Well, if they were able to make some type of that shift there, right? It's possible for the X-Men, and for it to still exist in the same world.
I'm not saying it's a terrible idea to put them in the same universe as the MCU, but I also don't think it's I also think they could benefit. Not they should, but they could benefit from being in a separate universe. Because the X-Men doesn't have the potency it should have if you have them in a universe where there's already metahumans. And it's like, oh, humans accept Thor, they accept Iron Man, they accept all of these like meta-human characters, but for some reason they're going to be prejudiced against the X-Men. It doesn't really kind of have the same.
Well, it's about geneticism, though. Like again, it's because it's a genetic thing, not something that you know, they're not gods, or it's not technology they make, or it's not like, you know, the only character that kind of like breaks that mold a little bit is Spider-Man, because technically it is a genetic thing. So they got bit by a radioactive spider, but like it's about like these people are being born with powers, and like they're like it's a genetic disorder.
Why would that make a difference? Why would that make
it's not because it's about like again like the insecurity of human beings who feel like they're like becoming obsolete, you know, because there's like a new evolution of human beings.
Why would it make a difference how they got the abilities to human beings fearing them? I don't understand.
Because human beings would be jealous, right? You know what I mean? And scared, oh, this is what's happening to us, you know. Some of us are mutants and stuff like that. I can see it.
I think racism with regular people is illogical. So, like, I didn't really need the explanation for why, oh, superpowers here, but superpowers from there doesn't make sense. Yeah, racism doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly, Chill. It does.
Wait a second.
Well,
I mean, technically it does, but like,
it doesn't in the grand scope of that.
Well, that was the whole point of the X-Men anyway. Was
from a humanity standpoint, it doesn't make sense.
From a historical standpoint, it does make sense.
But when it's
used as a way to control people.
Yes, I understand that. I mean, like I understand the historical issues here. What I'm talking about from a humanity standpoint, you know, I agree with what Chill's saying.
So you're saying prejudice doesn't make sense?
No.
Prejudice is the fear of what we don't understand.
Yeah, there's prejudice and racism against mutants. It's kind of the whole point of the X-Men.
So why are they not prejudiced against everyone with powers? That's what I'm trying to get at.
Because it's not a genetic thing.
How do they know it's not a genetic thing?
Because
so they see Captain Marvel. Why don't they fear her?
Because again, these superheroes are open to the public, right? They know, okay, they got their powers from this and this. The mutants, again, it's something that people are born with, right? And it develops like late, you know. But it's kind of like, again, a thing where it's like,
you are doing a bunch of mental gymnastics right now, RJ.
No,
just tell the truth. It doesn't make sense that they fear. So you're all right with Quicksilver. You're okay with Scarlet Witch, but all of a sudden, Cyclops bothers you.
I do want to. We'll continue this conversation. Go ahead and answer, RJ.
Well, no, again, the whole point of the X-Men, when they were conceived by Stan Lee, it was meant to be an allegory for the civil rights movement and racism during that time. Even down to the fact that Magneto was meant to be like a Malcolm X figure, and Professor Xavier was meant to be a Martin Luther King Jr. type figure. That was the conception. That was the concept. Racism and prejudice were directly tied into the concept of the X-Men, even though at the time they were publishing other books where people had superpowers.
Yeah, but you're just telling me the story of the X-Men. That's not an argument for why, in a world where Spider-Man swings across buildings and there's Spider-Gwen and there's Hulk and there's all of these different characters that are mega powerful, that the human race decides, we're going to be racist against this set of superpower people, but we're going to be perfectly fine. So why are they fine?
Humanity is scared that they are changing, that they're evolving.
Right, exactly. You know what I mean? And it's like, maybe this can happen. Maybe this can happen to us, you know?
They don't want mutants to become the predominant thing. They want it to be like predominant.
You don't think people would want to be telepathic if they could be?
No, because a lot of mutants have powers that are like that hurt them in society. Look at a character, like you mentioned one character, Rogue. Rogue cannot make physical contact with people without stealing their life energy and powers or personality traits, without them passing out. Like, not Nightcrawler looks like a blue monster. What about Beast?
So
Beast
does
can't
Hulk
walk around like normal.
So does a number of different other characters. Look, what about Fantastic Four, the Rock guy? Everyone celebrates the thing in the MCU, in the Marvel universe.
No, because the Thing hates himself. He wants to die. He hates being the Thing.
I'm not talking about how he feels about himself. I'm talking about how people feel
in the
about
comics.
him.
In the comics, original comics, he was seen as a monster.
And so was Hulk.
They were scared of him.
Okay, forget about Hulk. Is a different thing because Hulk goes and rampages cities. That's why. If Hulk was just heroic, people wouldn't like. The Marvel universe always has this kind of idea that, like, so for instance, Fantastic Four, you have some rock guy, you have some guy who just basically turns on fire and whatever, and the whole city sees them as heroes.
Well,
they have their backs to tower, and everyone's like, "Hey, go Fantastic Four!"
Look normal, right? The Thing doesn't look normal. He's stuck in that form the whole time.
So does many of the X-Men. So does many of the mutants. Why don't they just? So what you're saying is they should really just be prejudiced against mutants that look weird.
Well, Nerdman, if you're talking about the movies, you could say the same things about the comics, right? Because in the comics, the Fantastic Four are celebrated, but they still hate the X-Men. So it's the same thing.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think it works as well. That's why I think you should separate the universe.
So why wouldn't it work as well as it works in the comics?
I don't think it works in the comics, if I'm being honest. I don't think it makes that much sense in the comics either. But it's the comics. Comics don't make sense, so it's fine. Go on, Widow.
It made sense for like 60 years though. Like they kept the same continuity going. I mean,
we accept anything as comic fans.
And it's like they're worried about dying off and being taken over. That's like what we're trying to explain to you, and that mutants being the dominant race.
Right, and then you
non-mutant parents.
Yeah,
and
not to get super political, but
child.
Right, not to get super political, but like look at some people today who fear that the white race is not the predominant race in our world. That slowly, but it's like the percentage of white people in our world is slowly shrinking. And that kind of same sensibility is applied to like the allegory for mutants. That the mutant population is rising, and like normal people are fearful that they won't be the predominant species on the planet anymore.
Okay,
right. And then
I'll be okay with it if that happens, and then everyone's prejudiced against Spider-Man and the Fantastic Four and everyone else.
But they're different.
A lot of what happened to Spider-Man is done to him. What happens to Captain Marvel?
But it's still it's
not about changed, but it's not
he's
about
been changed on a genetic level.
But the fear is about this
that it being something you get at birth because of your DNA.
Sure, but he's been changed on a genetic level. Hulk and Spider-Man have been changed. If Hulk has a child, there's a likelihood that the Hulk gene is going to pass on to the child. If Spider-Man has a kid, there's a chance that the Spidey gene will be passed on to the child. So in effect, they are now mutants. Whether they got it from a scientific experiment or not, they're mutants.
Right, but the difference is people ain't worried about having babies that are going to turn out to be Spider-Man. But now when you put the mutants in it, people are like, oh my gosh, my son's going to come out looking like a blue creature or something like that with a tail or something like that. And that's where people panic. And that's why they're like, no mutants.
I'd love baby dogs.
I mean, literally in the comics, they like right now, I think like the mutants live in their own country. Like they've separated themselves from humanity. They live in their own country that works diplomatically with the United States and the rest of the world, like Krakoa or whatever. So
Chillmonger.
I think that people in Germany discriminated against others and they all look the same. Racism doesn't make sense. Same thing I said when I started this.
No, of course, racism.
But we're talking about the X-Men and Nerdman's point. What were your thoughts on that?
I think Nerdman's full of it, as usual. I think that the X-Men coexist in the universe in comics perfectly fine. Actually, the differences between the two groups of like regular heroes who don't have mutant abilities and the X-Men is pretty obvious. Like asking why don't they hate the Spider-Man? Why don't they hate Hulk? Why don't they hate the Thing? Well, the Thing is with his crowd of people, the Fantastic Four, and it's pretty much known how they got their powers. That's not a secret. Spider-Man, yeah, he's not too public about the spider bite and shit and things, but like because he's not every day with the X-Men, they don't think he's a mutant.
But he's with the Avengers.
The Avengers are all like people who have explained powers. They know Captain America got the super serum. They know Tony Stark has iron powers. They think of Thor as like an Asgardian, Norse mythology.
He's a god. Like he's not even like a human being.
Yeah.
What about Scarlet Witch?
She's a mutant. In the comics, she's a mutant.
I mean, but right now she's just a
Scarlet Witch is in the Avengers.
Well, in the movies, in the movie universe, she's not a mutant.
She is as well in the comics. Sometimes she's like she's an Avenger.
But she's not a mainstay. She's not a mainstay. Yeah, Black Widow has powers in the comic books, but she's not a mainstay
Wolverine was an Avenger at one point. You know what I mean?
It's just like certain people rotate in and out. When you think of mainstay,
yeah, but
she's
more
not.
Look, you guys are doing a bunch of mental gymnastics because you want your little X-Men team in your MCU world.
It's not
mental
gymnastics.
Damn well it doesn't. See, this is what I'm talking about.
It's just I'm saying you don't explain it to him, and it's like a simple one word.
But no, Nerdman, let me explain to you just real quick, okay? This is business. This is business. Do you really think that they would not combine those characters that everyone wants to see together in one cinematic universe?
I said they should combine eventually in a multiverse movie. That's what I just said.
I think it's going to be.
I'm talking about from the jump. Like it's all going to be in the one universe from the get-go.
Yeah, but I don't. I think to have the space to do a really nice X-Men, trilogy of movies, or even like 2 movies before you jump them in with all the rest of these guys.
Well, you could still do that. They don't have to be in different. They have to be in different universes for that to happen.
Listen,
I think so. I just think the MCU is too goofy.
A universe is not goofy. You can make the stories that the X-Men experience very heavy and doesn't have to be from a different universe. A universe, think about it.
Yeah.
Too goofy, man.
Well, look at something like Moon Knight. Moon Knight really has no direct
Thor, Love and
connection.
Thunder. What is it going to be? X-Men fucking...
well, Nerdman, hold on.
Hold on. Slow. You didn't have a punchline. You just said, what is it going to be?
Look at something like Moon Knight. It has no direct connection to the MCU. It's a very standalone story, but it still exists in that world. You can do the same thing with X-Men.
Are you using evidence, RJ? You can't do that with Nerdman. So they can be in the same universe. If you want them to build to Avengers vs. X-Men, which we all want, you have them in the same universe. And then in one movie, look, at Storm and T'Challa's wedding, they were all together, and then someone stepped on someone's shoe. Oh, look, Rogue just took Carol's powers. Ooh, the tensions are building, and then we'll get to Avengers vs. X-Men rather than just fighting each other the day they meet.
Yeah, but Moon Knight is a one character. The X-Men are a big team of characters. You can't just have them be not like a little quiet kind of thing in the corner.
But mutants
it's like, why are they fighting? Why are they fight? If
the mutants always go into hiding,
wreaking havoc on main cities in the MCU. Why is Doctor Strange not going to come? Why is far more powerful characters than him not going to come and just stop his ass?
Wait, can you repeat the question? Who are you referring to?
Here we go with the why.
He's
is
saying
not
that
more powerful characters
why are other characters not showing up in these other films?
Because I'm not saying why for bad stories. Because that's such a lazy criticism.
He's saying where they all kind of exist in the same city. Is that what you're saying?
No. What I'm saying is, I understand what you mean. Like when it's a one-on-one, one character versus another character, I can see that. But when you've got a group of mutants all trying to face someone like Magneto and these other mutants, it's just they can cause serious damage to cities. It's not like a little personal beef. It's it's a serious big scale kind of thing, and you just think, well, yeah, Doctor Strange should really be there, or somebody should be. And it's true, there is some legitimacy to the criticism, with WandaVision. Why didn't Doctor Strange come in and help resolve that? And why there's some legitimacy to that, but I honestly think if Juggernaut is stomping through a fucking city, or Apocalypse is there, why would Thor somebody not fucking come and try?
Other Avengers have shown up in X-Men storylines. That has happened before, where an Avenger or some other superhero will show up. Spider-Man's interacted with the Avengers plenty of times.
Sure, but I don't like that. I don't think that's good for the X-Men. I don't think that kind of storytelling is a nice. I don't know.
Been like
We'll
that
see
in the
how they
comics
do
for
it.
decades, though, man.
We'll see how they do it, but it hasn't.
I do want to get to WZ's question, guys. Though, okay.
Oh, okay,
I
go
want
ahead.
y'all to answer this, and then I've got to grab something real quick. And Anzo, can you kind of like guide everybody through this question? It says, "Wait, how do you think the X-Men will be introduced through the multiverse?"
I think one.
We'll start with RJ, and then
Smoke time. Go ahead, RJ.
Smoke weed every day.
No, I was gonna say, my guess probably what's most likely gonna happen is something with the multiverse, probably in Doctor Strange 2. I think Wanda is gonna end up doing something that will set the stage for the X-Men to be introduced. I think with the way the MCU is now, I think they're going to probably merge a universe where the X-Men existed with our main continuity MCU to make it one big universe, to where the mutants have always existed, but since we're merging universes now, we're just finally being introduced to them. That's my guess, at least. I don't know, but I feel like we'll get answers in a couple of weeks when Doctor Strange 2 comes out.
I think my answer...
Oh, go ahead, Phil.
My answer is that I don't think how the X-Men will come. I hope, and I don't want to have anything cemented in my mind, because what if the way they do it is actually worse? The scenario Anzo was putting up. So, look, currently, my bet, all of my chips are in for Multiverse of Madness. They're going to come through another universe, sure.
I honestly, look, this is how I would do it. You can go... I'm an asshole and blah blah blah, whatever. I would separate the X-Men universe from the main universe and make it more director driven, because I think the themes of the X-Men are more something that an individual director, rather than a part of this huge machine of making it fit into like some kind of collective story. I think that's something like individual directors could do better, like this recent guy who did the Northmen, or some other directors, maybe fucking the guy who did Lord of the Rings. Any of those guys could do start a little X-Men universe, do one X-Men story, do Generation X, do X-Force, do a few teams, each directed by different directors, and then do something where one mutant has the ability to open up multiverse or tap into the multiverse thing, and they get connected with Wanda or something like that, on some psychic level, and they open up the multiverse, and then you get an X-Men versus Avengers storyline, or X-Men and Avengers storyline, one or the other.
Okay, so that's what you would do, but how do you think the MCU is going to do it?
How do I think the MCU is going to do it?
Yeah.
Trash. I don't know.
Oh my God.
You know how they are. Come on, man. They're going to introduce one mutant in Wakanda, one mutant in somewhere else, tease a mutant here, tease a mutant there in each of these films, and then, finally bring them together, and there'll be some fun for the family version of the X-Men, just in virtue of being better than the trash Fox movies, are going to be lauded by MCU fans as the best thing ever. That's what I think.
You're lucky I don't have a mute button. But I have to agree with RJ on that. I think the way it's going to be done is when Doctor Strange and Wanda have to fix whatever happens with the multiverse, it merges with the universe that has mutants. That would be the way I would do it. And then now you have mutants.
And that would be the wrong way.
Why would that be the wrong way?
That would be the wrong way.
Why? Because you said so?
Way.
Because you
said so? What do you define as the right way? I mean...
it's the right way that you make them have their own universe.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
So if you weren't so handsome, man, I wouldn't be able
man,
to give you all the time.
Do you not trust Kevin Feige?
Do I not trust Kevin
Feige?
You
think Kevin Feige's a serial killer?
I think that Kevin Feige has actually gone across to the dark side. I think there's a devil.
What does that even mean?
I think there's devil worshipping involved. I think there's Indian voodoo shit.
Nerdman,
I mean, look at what's happening. Look at what's happening to the DC universe right now, bro. That's some
their
Indian.
own fault.
That's some
That's
Indian.
their own fault.
You know?
That's some Indian voodoo shit. Don't tell me that ain't.
No, that okay. Can I?
The main star goes
It's
crazy.
their own fault. It's not Marvel's fault they're failing.
No, I'm telling you, the main star goes crazy.
It's Kevin Feige's fault that one's on is getting killed in the court of public opinion. It's his fault that one's that
what is getting
want to
killed in the
revive Amber Heard, one of their stars. The
Hey,
other one keeps having violent outbursts.
Did you watch the cross-examination of Johnny Depp, by the way?
I did not get to see it because when I got home,
I still think Johnny
I was gonna watch some of it. Oh yeah, in the facts of the case, he's not. I don't believe he'll win. But in the public opinion, yeah, he's got that.
Yeah, but the public opinion is they're full Johnny because actually some of the things they brought up, this whole squeaky clean. He shouldn't have done that whole squeaky clean image during his direct examination or whatever. Because
he was open about his drug use though. Like he's
he wasn't.
Like, I'm just saying.
Yeah, go on.
No, I was gonna say like he's been open about that. He's kind of like explained his past, why he became so intoxicated and obsessed with drugs, why he was the way he was. I don't think he's ever tried making excuses for it. He's just being open on. It's like, yeah, I've been messed up. I need to get help, and I've been to rehab. I need to continue to like stay on top of this. To bring up that he doesn't have a squeaky clean past is some kind of gotcha against him. To be like, well, he's a bad person because he does drugs. Like no shit, Johnny Depp does. No, I didn't say you said that. I'm saying that the court. Amber's
that's not what Amber's team has been doing. Amber's team has been showing he's been sending texts talking about killing the whore and
because he's on drugs
and R-ing her.
But that's not an excuse. But it doesn't excuse it though. I mean, and
who does that about their girlfriend?
What if he was so high? And in his real, and this is just me playing devil's advocate. I don't want to hear anybody, not you guys on the panel. About, oh, you're supporting Amber or whatever. I don't, what if he really blacked out so high and he did things and acted in ways that he doesn't remember, that he believed that he didn't do these things? He's still responsible if he did it. Because some people can be, a totally different person when they're intoxicated or when they're on drugs and act in ways that they wouldn't normally, right?
Right.
Because they're in the throes of addiction, but that doesn't excuse your behavior. You're still
alleged
wrong
behavior.
If you do
there's
alleged behavior.
There's no proof that it happened.
But she's doing a hypothetical.
I'm not even talking directly about Johnny at this point. I'm just saying anyone
in general
who hurts or causes anybody any type of harm, who is drinking or on drugs, they're still responsible. If I go out here in my car and I've had like 4 tequila shots and I get into
I thought you were
car
giving
wreck and hit
hypotheticals.
someone, I'm just saying this is.
That's cool.
Oh,
yeah,
I mean.
That's wild.
Yeah, I can't drive. So yeah, it took a while. I was like, wait, what?
Just do it like that.
Yeah, no, I get what
I would go to prison.
From.
I can
no,
be
but that's what I'm saying.
Guys. Please forgive me for murdering this family or whatever.
That's what I'm saying about like that cross-examination. It was like it brought up like these horrible, really vile things he was saying to her.
No, they're both in the wrong. I want to clarify that they're both in the wrong in a lot of ways. I just think Amber,
toxic cup.
Yeah, exactly. I just think Amber was more so in the wrong in a lot of. Okay.
I don't think when you be more wrong unless you're like, unless you're doing. I don't know. Go ahead.
I don't know.
Well, she's more wrong because you've seen Johnny Depp's side of the argument. You haven't seen her side of the argument as much.
No, that's true. That's true.
And
like
it's
I
hard
said,
for me
more...
being, a type of person and I know and I've said this to Nerdman. Yes, I believe there could be a possibility that he did these things. Okay, and I believe that there's also truth possibly that he did walk away She then comes and pursues him. And then as he's walked away, he's then now back in this escalated situation. And then he might have then hit her. So I feel like he could have tried to remove himself from the situation. It escalated. And then as a result of that, then he could have put his hands on her. I'm just saying it's hard to not.
It's a tricky situation.
These situations of abuse could happen because even though it's a lot, I believe all women, there's also a tendency for a woman in that type of situation when a split happens for the female to be demonized and for people to side with the man. So I mean, I think that like everybody really needs to listen to everything before you make a decision. And I don't think that she sounds good. I think they both did horrible things.
They both did horrible things. Yeah, no. But I guess what I'm saying is that as of this moment, it kind of again, it just it looks bad for him. Case? I've been watching some live streams of it. I haven't caught like every moment of it, but I have been trying to keep a little more up to date with it.
Because
the only day that
I don't see how. I'm just saying I don't see after the cross-examination, I don't see how people haven't at least got to step back and have a moment of pause and just go, hey, wait a second, maybe I don't know everything about Johnny Depp. Like, because like the way he was going on, like he was acting like just completely like I'm just such a victim and I didn't fight back, and yeah, I was on drugs, but I was just I'm one of those, what do you call it, like
damsels in distress.
Passive drug addicts. I'm more like I just lay out and and I'm like a polar bear or whatever. You poked me and I just want to go
and
away.
See, nobody
is. It's like there was that image that he was giving off, and I was buying into it. I'm gonna be completely honest. I was like, oh, yeah, it sounds to me like he's just like this. I don't really do it. And then you see all these vile things that he sends her, and that he's sending people about her, about killing her, chopping off her head, and he's reading it and going, "Did you write that? Were you the one who wrote this?" And you're like, wait a second. Wait a second. Is this the same guy who was, oh, I'm just so passive when I'm high. I don't think so, mate. You don't write that kind of stuff if you're just some passive dude. And I'm not saying that means he beat her up. I'm just saying like that.
Yeah, I'm not saying that either.
There's a different side to the one that.
And I want to respond to this comment right here because that's not what we're doing. We're not caping Amber, okay, at all. All right, I'm not because I feel I hear things that she said about Johnny. I say that's probably I don't necessarily believe what she's saying there. Give Johnny the benefit of the doubt.
Well, it's
I'm
also
just
about waiting
now
for due
posing a
process
question.
too.
I'm just posing the questions, right, and being just the devil's advocate. It's the conversation, and I want every thought to be out there.
The court of public opinion is significant for one reason.
Yes.
It's the court of public opinion that got James Gunn fired from Guardians, and then the court of public opinion got him back for Guardians. It matters to the studios, which is why they discontinued the whole Pirates of the Caribbean thing with Johnny Depp. But now that Johnny Depp is a hero and he was innocent this whole time, man, that sucks. Now Disney's gonna go, no, we never canceled anything, and he's back. Guess what? He's casted. That's what'll happen.
Words are very powerful. I will say this. Okay, someone can call you a nasty word for 7 years of your life, and you'll believe it. That's how powerful words are. Okay, words matter.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I want to mention too, I saw a tweet that went viral saying, "Man, we're gonna have some fun comic book movie press tours next year and a half." They put a picture of Ezra Miller, Amber Heard, Letitia Wright, and Evangeline Lilly together, and I'm like, y'all, like, listen. You may have your feelings on like people who don't want to get a shot, but I don't compare to people who are accused of like assault and like domestic violence. Like, you can't put those together like that. Like you're trying to like say like they're all just as equally bad. It's like there's levels to this, guys. Levels.
Me and Anzo quiet in the back.
No, I mean if y'all got something to say, I mean I don't know.
I'm not paying
I want to hear.
to it, so.
No, I'm just saying I don't know how everyone
please,
feels.
Anzo, I want to hear. Anzo
I just
gets so quiet.
Yeah, I just want to clarify.
Anybody else's stream.
Yeah, I just want to clarify. I'm not saying I support Evangeline Lilly or Letitia Wright and what they've said and done. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's weird for people to compare them to Ezra Miller and Amber Heard and say like they're all just as equally bad as each other. It's like
but when you say they're just as equally bad, it does make it sound like there is a level of bad of what Evangeline Lilly did, but which is to me, she did nothing bad.
Oh, okay. I like I said, I don't know how everyone feels about those two. I mean, Evangeline Lilly has a political opinion that people disagree with. I wouldn't put her on the same level as someone who committed possible second-degree assault or domestic violence.
I think you're miscategorizing what she believes as a political opinion. It's more so a health opinion.
Right. No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't mean to do that. I'm just saying, like, because I thought she also supported something in Canada with trucks. I don't know that whole. I don't really pay attention to that stuff. But yeah,
I did want to hear Anzo and Chill's thoughts, opinions. Anzo,
I ain't following the case, so I don't have any opinion.
Good for you.
I could care less about these celebrities' lives. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, when it comes to like his career or anything like that, I think that he has a better chance, even if he loses this defamation case, just because of the court of public opinion, which, like Chillmonger said, is what got James Gunn fired, and that's what matters. Are people going to go out and see your movies? Do they think that you're viable? Do they want to see you in film? And Johnny Depp is coming out looking, a lot better here. And I think that this is just going to like add more fuel to the, Johnny Depp, comeback story. Chill.
I said everything I wanted to say. Yeah. Court of public opinion, all that.
Word. RJ, what else was you saying?
No. I mean, like I said, I don't got much else to say on the matter. It's just, again, I'm going to wait and see what happens the rest of the trial. We'll see what happens, and it'll be very interesting. That's,
When is Amber Heard taking the stand?
That's a good question. I'm not for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's supposed to be a 24-day trial. We're only on day 7. So.
Yeah, she's going to get eviscerated. I mean, if you look at what these guys are doing with Johnny Depp, the thing is as well, it's like, I think they really opened very strong, and then they kind of petered out where they were trying to get into the drug addiction of Johnny Depp. But they started very strong with what Johnny Depp was saying. So this was one of the things I remember. So he was getting texts up that Johnny Depp had sent to friends about Amber Heard or sent to Amber Heard herself. And he was taking his time because you have to lay the foundation for anything that you're sending as text or entering in as evidence as text.
Mr. Depp, this is a text message exchange that you had with Paul Bettany on June 11th, 2013, correct?
Yes, correct.
Your Honor, permission to move for admission of redacted Defendants Exhibit 178 and permission to publish, please.
We based off of Your Honor's ruling.
All right.
That's fine.
178 with redactions.
Michelle, could you please blow up the first text at the top? In this text, Mr. Depp, you text Mr. Bettany, "Let's burn Amber," 3 exclamation points, right? You see that?
I do see that.
And at this time, June 11, 2013, Amber is your girlfriend or perhaps even your fiance at this point, correct?
Girlfriend,
yeah,
for sure.
And you didn't stop when you said, "Let's burn Amber." Because the next text down, you can move down and blow up the next text, please, Michelle. You say, "Let's drown her before we burn her," 3 exclamation points. Did I read that right?
This is actually one of the tamer ones.
And
This is
prior to.
You
This
didn't
is-
stop when you said, let's drown her before we burn her. After that, you made another comment. And I'd like to apologize to the court and to the jury for some of the language that I'm going to have to use today. But unfortunately, you're going to see a lot of documents with language like this. After you said, let's drown her before we burn her, Mr. Depp, you said, I will fuck her burnt corpse afterwards to make sure she's
Oh my
dead.
God.
Wow.
That's what you said that you would do
Wow.
after you burned her and after you drowned her. Did I read that right?
You certainly did, yes.
And you wrote that about.
And there's more. I mean, there's a ton
I mean,
more.
yeah,
of
that's abusive.
No, it's it's a really bad text. Like I said, I think they were both abusive towards each other.
Are you guys
Will you
necro
send me a
shaming
link to
right now?
that? What?
The burning body and then having sex with the corpse?
He's trying to do a bit.
No,
Oh,
hold
you're
on a
doing
minute
a
now,
thing.
because you
You're
guys are
doing a
all from
thing.
different countries except for Anzo, but he's from Quebec. That's a practice.
Ew.
Necro shaming goes down as like one of the top. It's almost like saying the N-word. Honestly, it's the other N-word.
What?
What?
You guys are so intolerant. It's actually puzzling how you've never heard of this. Necrophobia. It goes back to like the early 2000s of something that they tried to ban specifically in circles like well, you guys are not even entertaining my fucking
I'm
comedy.
listening. It just makes me sick.
Makes sense.
I was trying to be
what-
convincing.
It just made me sick. What you just
Hey,
said.
you have to try
Yeah.
a joke, you know, and you have
But
to
that
see
was
if it
the
lands
joke.
sometimes.
Yeah.
They don't always hit. Maybe if my
They don't
camera was
always
on,
hit.
my facials would like convince you.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Maybe we needed the curls to happen. While you were saying it. Maybe
Hey, it
that's
was a
what
huge swing, man. I
But
respect
Schumacher,
you for it.
do you check the private chat too? Whenever you
Yeah,
get
I
a
did.
chance?
But I was talking, so I wasn't going to answer the private chat. I will now.
No, I was just. Yeah. We didn't need to continue on
Asshole.
that.
Yeah, I was talking, so I wasn't gonna answer, but I'll do it now.
Didn't need all that. Yeah. Just trying to act like it was a public service announcement to people, but oh well. Anyway.
Yeah.
He said, "Damn, yeah, that's messed up and troubling at the same time."
And again, that doesn't prove
That he hit her.
that he hit her or whatever. Maybe he just sends like nasty text, but it does go towards a very. If he'd say that to a friend of his, like he'd say that to her.
Yes,
he'd say things like that to her. Like you can't convince me that he was just some passive guy who, I just get high on weed and like. Look at the clouds and, and I'm just an artist who's, I don't buy that about him anymore. There's too much of this stuff that he wrote that I'm just
nice and sweet and passive.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Things are never as black and white as people may want.
That's how he
to
came
portray
out.
it
But
as.
he was just a prisoner of everything. And maybe it just sounds very aggressive. Will you send me a link to that, Nerdman? Because I didn't get to see that today.
Oh yeah, sure. Again, like when they started now on the drug stuff, and that's making him look a lot better. But because
how?
They're trying to go into like how he was doing drugs and at different points, and they're kind of, how would you put it? They're dilly-dallying around the issue. They're not hitting as hard as these texts hit, because I don't know that they've got the kind of, maybe they do. Maybe on Monday we'll see, but like they don't seem to have the smoking gun on him on like her hitting him, her hitting him or something like that. They don't seem to have that, at least from what I've seen. But I have to watch the whole thing. I haven't watched the whole thing yet. But the texts were fucking horrible. I mean, like they went on and on and on, and they were like just like that,
Yeah, man, those kind of texts get you arrested, man. Those kind of texts get you arrested. A regular dude, those kind of texts get you arrested.
And all it needs is one jury member not to believe him.
Yeah.
You know, so I again, these people who cover these stories, they set people up for something that might not happen, and I just worry about it because the backlash is not going to be against Johnny Depp if he loses. It's going to be against her, and it will be unfair, you know.
Yeah,
it's fucked up. But you know,
Anybody else have anything to add here?
That's why you do not send those type of texts to anybody. Those are receipts. You do not do that because you're fucking yourself up.
Keep
from
them.
experience.
Keep them things. I got all you gotta keep that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So
you have to. And that is bad. That's really, really bad. Like, ain't you know what I'm saying? That's bad.
And maybe she said texts about him as well. I need to see.
Yeah, we got to see what she said.
What she did. Yeah.
What
But
she
Nerdman,
said.
does her text undo the text he just said?
No, they do not.
It just makes them equal parties.
Makes them both trash people. And it's really got nothing to do with the case. You know, this is just them trying to.
I know. We know what the 3 points are, right? We know because we saw the opening statements, and all of this has nothing to do with that. You know.
Yeah.
None of this has. It ain't got nothing to do with it. It really doesn't.
Gary B, texts ain't proof of nothing.
You send somebody a text message like that? Are you kidding me? I don't know anybody in any world would think that that's something normal to send to somebody. So to say that it doesn't prove anything, and it proves that you are angry enough to the point where you are threatening physical harm and killing people in a text message, dude. And you think, and you had first you typed it, right? And then you sent it. So I mean, what else can you say? Like,
there's difference between texting there's difference between like texting someone some crazy shit and some bullshit, or it's just like you're messing around versus like you're already fighting an argument and then you're sending a text saying, I'm gonna like burn you, drown you, then have sex with your body. Like, okay, that's a little extreme.
Like the ones that like I don't like the one. I mean, the fuck yous are enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, but that's like a whole other level,
right? And I'm not saying
don't even
like
know
I said,
in what world that people experience that, because I've dealt with
right. No, and that's the thing. Like, I'm waiting for the end of the trial,
but I have not received a message like that every day of my life. I will say
I sent one, and I was locked up for a night. So there you go.
That's how serious
I've never Anzo, I don't know the context of your ones. I've had angry exchanges with girlfriends, ex-girlfriends, but I don't think I've ever sent anything like that to someone.
No, mine.
I'm sure of it. I've never said anything like that to, even in a heated argument. I stick to what they did versus what I did. You know, like that's the kind of argument I have. I don't go like, oh, you know, I want to fucking chop off your head and like,
because it's like, to me, it's like, why would you say that to somebody, especially if you're in a relationship with them? That's just like.
Yeah, it's just never happened.
I mean, I would never say that to anyone, but like that is just, I mean, like that's not.
I wasn't in a relationship when I said it. It was my ex, and I was like, I'm gonna kill you. And about 20 minutes later, there was a knock at my door. You know what I mean? So you can't just say text like that. That's why I say when it comes to text message and stuff like that, once you put that out there, that's receipts, and those things get you in trouble. That's why I'm sitting here and I'm like, all the shit that he said, that shit should have got him put in jail.
Yeah,
hands down, that shit should have got him put in jail. But
okay, let me empathize with Gary B. I'm sure we've all said things in text form, that we may regret that were like too much. But the level that Johnny Depp went to was so nuts. Like the fact that you would actually bring yourself to enjoy it.
And that's the thing. Like,
That's extreme.
ultimately, yeah. So sorry,
no, I was
Ashley.
just gonna say, no, you're fine. Just saying, like, if you like telling somebody, you know, F themselves, that's bad. You know what I'm saying? If you're having a disagreement, you know what I'm saying? And like some other, you know, not so nice things, but like to threaten physical harm, that is very, very, very serious. So that is an extreme version of that. You know what I'm saying? If you're having a disagreement and that is enough to affect somebody, imagine then getting a message saying, I want you to die.
Right. And that's the thing. Police have to do something about that, because now if they don't, then it's like, wait, you know, she got threatened. You know what I mean? Like someone said she's gonna kill her. You didn't do nothing, and now she's dead. You know, so you got to be careful what you say. They don't know who they can take seriously.
And also, it's just you have to understand. And I didn't watch all of it, so I'm gonna watch all. Well, if I can be bothered, I'll watch all of the what do they call it? Direct examination of Johnny Depp.
Cross-examination.
No, cross-examination is what the other side does when you're being by the
Isn't that
like
the defense?
Yeah, but there's no defense and prosecution in this because it's a civil trial. It's like plaintiff and whatever. But cross-examination is what happens when Amber's lawyers are questioning him. When his lawyers are, I think it's called direct.
I think it's direct examination or something.
I had to think about it for a second. I'm a little slow.
Well, did we really just waste 30 seconds on whether it's direct examination or cross? Okay.
No, I know.
I didn't know. I thought you were talking about cross-examination. I didn't know you were talking about his attorneys.
No, I was saying I need to watch all of that and see, did she send similar types of text? First of all, maybe it was a kind of back and forth between them, and then secondly,
but he didn't send.
Did they mention that in the direct? Did they already cover this? Did they already say, "Oh, why did you send this text saying this horrible thing? This is pretty nasty, Johnny Depp. Can you explain yourself? Why would you send this about her?" And then he explained, like, she had done this, and that to me, and I just was out of my mind, and blah blah blah. I don't know if they did that, and he's already covered all of this stuff, or if this is the first time we're hearing it in the trial, and he was just pretending all the time on direct examination. I sit there like little, I swear to God, if you go and watch the direct examination, the way he was going on was like he was just like no one of those drug addicts who's just down and out and like wouldn't hurt a fly, because he's just like. They're just high all the time and peaceful in some never land in his mind. That's how he was going on. He was when he was high, right? And that he didn't do anything aggressive. I was more like my dad, My dad just used to get punched by my mom, and he wouldn't do anything. He'd just punch a wall maybe sometimes, and that kind of stuff. And I was just like,
what I was gonna say is that's kind of the nuanced conversation we need to have, where it's like. Sometimes when you're in a toxic relationship and you're, both parties just inject the toxicity into it, and they both end up just like destroying themselves and acting in really bad ways towards each other. But like I know it's not the popular thing to say because everyone wants to like villainize one person over the other, but it's like
I agree.
Maybe they both screwed up,
Yeah, I agree completely. That's what I've been saying. I said they both, like I said they both drank from the same toxic glass. You know what I'm saying? They were, both acting in ways that were unhealthy,
Right. So then does Amber Heard have the right to say she was in an abusive relationship?
If she was physically abused, yes. Or if she suffered some type of abuse, yes.
Psychological abuse as well.
Yeah. Yes. That's what that sounds like to me.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm saying, well,
He's
I'm
a
just saying
powerful
any
man
types
in
of abuse.
Hollywood.
I'm
She's
saying
like a
any
little
type of
actress.
abuse. I started with physical, but yes, any type
Well,
of
Amber
abuse.
Heard, I mean, Johnny, no, that's a good. I was going to argue, well, Amber Heard is getting major roles. I mean, she's freaking Mera and Aquaman. It's no small role.
But
For
nothing
now.
compared to what Johnny.
Yeah,
did.
Johnny
Yeah.
Depp is a major
The
powerhouse
pirate
in
movies,
Hollywood.
those pirate movies. I mean,
Well, his career was on the
he'd already
wane,
had,
though, a little bit.
but I'm saying before that, like he still had a long run,
History.
and then he had a run, and then he had that. He did have a
The
little
dude's
dip,
got a fucking
and
island,
then,
dude.
And then after that, Pirates happened, and it was over after that. Like it was over. Like he was, so Johnny was always doing well.
Mm-hmm.
He's always working. He did have a little span where he didn't do as much, but Johnny Depp was everything.
The only problem with Johnny Depp's career is that after Pirates, he got typecast in those kind of roles.
Well, I mean, and then like I love Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
Why?
Did you guys catch how they used? They were like, Johnny Depp from movies like Edward Scissorhands. They had to mention that where you're trying to prove he's violent. That was great. That was so slick.
Yeah. But yeah, he I mean, I don't like, again, I don't know. I'm just saying that it gave me a moment for pause where I was like, wait a second, like if he's saying all of this stuff to his friends about her, like you can't tell me he was just like sitting there taking it from her, like just.
No, he was saying the same shit to her.
Yeah.
Fuck you, bitch! I'm gonna burn your ass. I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna fuck you before I burn you. Saying all that shit to her, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Yes, that is it. That's what we were talking. That's the point that we were making. The issue is that Depp has to prove that the op-ed directly affected his career and caused the losses to him. And based on those 3 points, it doesn't seem like so. Please,
well, slander cases are always really hard to prove because you have to prove.
This is defamation.
Yeah, well, sorry, slander and defamation cases. Those are both very hard to prove because again,
and they're basing it on these 3 points.
Right.
3 points from the article.
And here's the thing, which is what I'm saying, when you're listening to all of these third parties like talking about this, I actually think Johnny Depp might win. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting influenced by all these third parties as well. But I'm just saying, like,
but that's
when
not
you
what
no, but when you listen to these third parties, they make it out like the case is about whether Amber Heard abused Johnny Depp or whether Johnny Depp abused Amber Heard, and that isn't what the case is about. And that's why I'm saying they're setting themselves up for, oh, you see, the system, it's like it's so pro-feminist, and that's what they're going to be saying.
Johnny Depp has to win in the court of public opinion. Okay, even if he loses, he wins. But even more so with all this coming out, all this stuff, everything that he has to say negative about things that she did, even though even her, it's not about any of all this stuff. It's about those 3 points, and it's all for public opinion.
Yeah.
Some people actually are gonna lose. Yeah, me too. I believe so too. To others, they go, oh, well, they went to court and he kept losing. He lost in England. He lost over here. So I think I'm with Amber Heard. There are people who are that close-minded who just go, who won the case? But to me, I know it's impossible to prove whether or not the abuse happened or whether or not it was defamation that caused you to lose your roles, unless you get someone from the studios on stand to say, actually, yes, that's true. And here's the emails to prove it. Unless that happens, which they haven't, then you're not going to be able to prove that Amber Heard's words caused you your job.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you guys, just kind of like this is something I've seen float around a lot, and I'm just curious to get everyone's take on this. Like, I'm seeing so many people compare like this Johnny Depp and Amber Heard situation to the Will Smith situation in terms of, like who's being like in the Ezra Miller situation too, where it's like, well, Will Smith can slap someone at the Oscars and Johnny Depp can get fired and Will Smith loses all of his projects, but Ezra Miller doesn't get anything yet. Do you guys feel like there's like hypocrisy with that at all, or like are they not comparable?
They're not, because he slapped someone at the Oscars. Like if he slapped someone outside of the Oscars, and then the Oscars took away his.
Well,
you
so
know,
Nerdman, just to
membership
clarify,
and-
you're saying because it was televised in front of millions of people, it made it worse.
No,
At the
because
show,
he did it
the
at the
actual award
show.
show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
he did it at the award show. It doesn't matter if it's televised or not. What I'm saying is, if Will Smith had slapped what's his name,
Chris Rock,
at, let's say, I don't know, like just a comedy special
or the after
Walmart
party
or something, or the after party or anything like that, right? And then they did the same thing, then that's bullshit. But he did it on the show.
During the
He
show.
got up.
He got
during
up,
the show.
and it wasn't like in the audience. Chris Rock was on the stage.
Yeah, he's presenting an
presenting
Oscar.
award,
Mm-hmm.
and he got up out of his seat, went up there and slapped that man, then sat back down and started
And
yelling
yelled
at
at him.
him.
Yeah.
And now everyone's blaming his
and
wife.
then won his
Go
award 5
figure.
minutes later. Yeah, see,
Well,
even though
people,
you gotta take it, you gotta be real about this though. All right, because let's be real, she did like look at him like she didn't like it, but in the no word did she say, "Get your ass up there and slap him in his face."
Exactly.
Okay.
Even if she laughed
If
afterwards.
I'm looking at say if that's my man and I don't like something and I hear something I don't like, I might look at him and twist my lip up too. But that don't mean get your ass up and slap this motherfucker upside his face.
Right. No, that's what I personally
That's the bullshit
believe.
about it. That really is the bullshit about it.
Yeah.
That really
No,
is.
they
I
blame the
personally
wife.
believe-
It's just the same thing. It's like it's so
Well, no,
weird to me how like the world
Regardless
is like
of
that.
what
It's
y'all
like,
think about her round table, red table, whatever that stuff she did with whoever and whenever, that ain't got nothing to do with what happened at the Oscars, right?
Yeah. No, I feel like again it might just be a case of because I don't know what's going on in both their personal lives. I just feel like it could be a toxic relationship again. I think Will's ultimately responsible for his own actions. That he chose to get up there. He had time to think, right? And you got to deal with the ramifications of that.
And then he also let's not forget the third part of all this scenario with Will Smith. So he slapped him. He yelled at him from his seat. Thirdly, and when he gets up there to win his award, he don't apologize to Chris Rock on stage at the show that he just slapped him in front of.
Yeah, he apologized to the audience and the Academy.
To the audience, he brings up, Serena and Venus's the Williams family.
Yeah.
He said he's more concerned with saying things
and he says love.
He said y'all ain't gonna never let me back. Love makes you do crazy things, and y'all ain't gonna never let me back. Nothing for Chris.
Yeah, but like
it's
a complicated thing though.
Then you was dancing and having a good time.
Yeah, but it's a complicated thing. I think it's more complicated than people are like.
I thought it was interesting.
The sense of entitlement it was horrible. He was really wrong.
No, if Chris Rock had have got up and made a joke where the punchline was, calling what's her name, Jada Smith, a fat bitch, right? Like, would it then be okay, or not okay? Would it be understandable? Would people be like, "Oh, that's a little bit too much"?
No.
Like, if he like literally called her a fat bitch.
No.
So why is it okay, like, to make fun of somebody who has alopecia?
I'm not saying that. I'm saying if he said it,
isn't that body shaming? Isn't that why is that not the same as calling someone a fat?
He didn't say. He said G.I. Jane too. He thought that maybe her shaving her hair was her choice, like some women do.
Yeah, he had no idea.
How do you know that?
He said it. He's come on.
He said it.
He admitted he did. Yeah. He did not know about that.
He did not know she had alopecia.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that maybe he knew too at first, but I didn't know.
I thought he would have known. Because I think
they
like.
Well, I know Jada made it public on various talk shows.
But I didn't know
Instagram,
until I didn't know until this recent thing.
Right, and she may have made it public, but unless you really watched the red table, like, would you really know? Because I didn't know.
I didn't know either.
And
I'm just saying, I think in his position he would have known.
But how though? Because she's shaved her head many times before, right? She's
always
not the
had a
first time
very
she's
close.
been
I mean, she's
involved.
always had very short hair, and
Yeah.
and like so for me, I just thought it was natural, and you know.
Well, in regards to like the
Her
Ezra Miller
choice, I
thing,
mean-
do you guys feel like there's hypocrisy with like Warner Brothers choosing to fire Johnny Depp from the Fantastic Beasts films, not immediately getting rid of Ezra Miller, or do you feel like
Depends
there's
on
more
why
to the
Ezra
story?
Miller's doing this.
I
Depends.
think
Completely
that-
depends on why Ezra Miller's doing it.
Because I know a lot of people are calling out saying it's hypocritical.
I think the difference is that them with Amber Heard's situation, the Sun case happened. There were lots of first the allegations and the pictures, and then the Sun case, and then that really hurt Johnny. With Ezra, I think what happened the first time, he should have been fired, in my opinion, after the first incident. But I think WB, nobody ever said anything about it. You know what I'm saying? We saw it. We were like, what's that? No information, nothing. Never heard nothing about it, right? So somehow that was swept under the rug a little bit, right? In my opinion, it has to be.
No, they pretend like it didn't happen. They're like, we're just not gonna talk
like
about it.
we saw it, and then we were like, so what about this thing over here? Nothing.
I don't think he should have been fired though, unless he's doing.
But I'm saying, don't you think
that
there should have been some transparency there? Transparency.
I think there should have been transparency,
some investigation, and something should have been at least looked into and verified in any way. Because when you look at that video, because I recently watched it again, when he pushes her up against that, I don't know if it's like trash can or whatever it is, he pushes up her against that pretty freaking hard. And then he slams her to the ground.
Well, the thing that's concerning is that the cameraman's like, whoa.
Her head goes back. That's hard enough.
Yeah. Well, and the cameraman's reaction as he's filming that, like even he's acting like, okay, this is serious. Yeah.
Oh, I think it's completely serious. I think you should never do that. But what I'm saying is it could have been worse. If he had have like really slammed her head into the thing and then really slammed her down, then I would have been like,
though.
oh,
but he did it.
But when I saw it, I was like, is this a joke? Is she play fighting with him, or is there some context to this? And that's what I'm saying. It's an 8-second thing. I have no context, and because of how he did it, there's no way you could have been injured by what he did.
But
if I did that to you, Ashley, sorry,
but
and I wouldn't. Obviously, I wouldn't. If I did that to you,
I might do it to you.
If you did it to me, if you did it to me, I wouldn't be injured, right? There's no way of injury from what he did.
You'd be a little wet though. What'd you say?
What did you say?
What did you say?
You guys need a moment? We could leave.
No, it's not like that. That's like my
Anyway, but that's what I'm saying. You can't be injured by what he did, and that's why I was
I would beat him up.
I would know. I'd need context to understand what exactly was going on there, but it doesn't look great. It doesn't look great, and if he just did that for no reason, then you would have to do an investigation and have to either send him to do some rehab or do whatever and apologize and etc. Yeah, and that's how I would deal with that.
It just seems weird
but
to me.
If he doesn't accept it, then you fire him. If you go, hey, I want you to do this, and if you don't, you're fired. That's it.
I guess for me, I'm just confused because again, with Johnny Depp, they acted so quickly, right? And they were like, "You're done. You're not going to be in Fantastic Beasts 3. We're moving on from you." Yada, yada, yada.
But they hadn't shot the movie
because the allegations happened right originally
years ago,
and then the article happened in 2018, right? And then the Sun stuff happened. That was 2020, and that's when he got fired.
Yeah, so it was years ago. These accusations.
This has been 4 years. That was like the final straw with Johnny.
Yeah, when a court case went against him, that was the final straw. But the problem was they shouldn't have done that. Not from us, not from the Sun newspaper.
Well, I guess I'm not asking. I guess my thing is I'm not even asking for Warner Brothers to fire Ezra or do something. Just at least say something. At least say, yeah, we're aware of this and we're taking action. Just say something. Don't pretend this isn't happening. You know what I mean? I guess that's what's more so the frustrating thing. At least acknowledge this is going on.
Yeah, they should really. They need to get ahead of this one because this I think is going to tank their movie.
Would Disney
really
have
do.
fired Ezra before the Hawaii arrests?
I don't think so.
Wait, Disney.
If it were Disney and if it wasn't
Oh,
Warner
if it were
Brothers.
Disney.
Yeah. If it was
Well,
Disney,
all
he
right.
would have been fired after the first video.
Yeah,
No,
that
but-
first video, they would have taken action because they have a family friendly reputation.
Yeah,
to
and you
uphold,
have to
too.
say, and they sign those morality clauses
Yeah, but also here's the
in
thing:
Marvel Studios.
you have to think. There's context to this because you have to think is if Disney was comparable financially to Warner Brothers, right? Disney's it's in a much better position than Warner Brothers to say, for instance, go fuck it, let's just spend 100 million and reshoot like the scenes with this guy because we've almost can guarantee we're going to get $1 billion off our MCU fans for this movie. So fuck it, let's just spend 100 million and fucking reshoot it. DC aren't in that position. Warner Brothers are not in that position.
Bro, Warner Brothers has him in 2 of their franchises.
Right, exactly. So they can't just go, let's just spend 100 million to reshoot all of this thing because they don't know if the Flash is going to make even its own budget. Like, to be quite real, with the way the DC movies are going now. Like, so again, I don't know that you can afford to do that with this movie. Like, in the position that they are in, they need to find the cheapest solution to all of this. And whatever the cheapest solution is, they should pursue it vigorously. Because the expensive solution, getting another actor, 100 million, or even worse, just going, right, we're not even putting out this movie because the actor is too tarnished to be able to do so, is unthinkable for them.
When we talk about reshooting Flash, all the scenes that he was in were... One second.
That would
Kevin Feige right now.
If they take out the Flash, right? If they have to remove the Flash from their from what do you call it? Their fucking
universe.
Their slate. If they have to remove the Flash from their slate, the DC universe is over, in my opinion. Just forget about DC films, unless it's in the Batman.
I don't think it's like that dire where DC's dead. I mean, like,
I really think that's the nail in the coffin for any DCEU shared universe if they have to do that.
Well, like I said earlier, right? Here's the thing: it's a new company, Warner Brothers Discovery. It's a brand new company. The money spent on Flash was spent before the merger was complete. That's the old regime's money. Technically speaking, the new company could be like, we don't want this to be a black eye on our like new record. Let's just pour the money in, take the L on it, right? Just pour more money into it and do what we need to do to make sure it's a good movie that, doesn't like destroy our reputation and franchise that we're trying to build back up. I think it's highly unlikely, but it's not impossible. More than likely, what's going to end up happening is they're probably just going to release the movie as is, have Ezra do a big apology tour and be like, I'm sorry, I'm getting help. This is like, I have mental health issues. Here's what's going on with me. If the movie fails, it fails. But you know what? They'll probably reshoot the ending where it introduces a new actor or teases a new actor. And then that'll be fine.
RJ, apparently it's really good. That's what the tests.
I know. I've heard the test screens are very positive.
I think this. Yeah, I think it's going to be a good film.
But it's going to be
if they reshoot. If they say we're going to do everything the same except for the scenes are going to be shot by Grant Gustin, you have so many scenes of the Flash with his mask on that those don't really need to be touched. It could actually be the Ezra Miller footage that you used the whole time.
Grant Gustin, why with Grant?
Not Grant
I'm just choosing a name, anyone else. But also, it is the DCU where nothing really is attached. This may be a standalone director-driven type thing. And whenever Warner. Well, there's no proof that Flash is going to be part of the Aquaman universe / the
Wonder Woman
Shazam
universe. Isn't Wonder Woman in it?
Wonder Woman could fly in '84, but she couldn't fly in the future movies. There's no consistency here.
Well, the Flash is supposed to like finally unite everything and give a clear, distinct, connected universe going forward. That's the whole point of the movie.
It's like a soft reboot.
Yeah, it's a soft reboot. That's the whole purpose of it. Now,
so who's going to be Batman after the Flash movie? Is it going to be Cavill?
Michael Keaton. It's Michael
It's
Keaton.
gonna be Michael Keaton for a little bit. Yeah.
Michael Keaton.
For a little bit,
Batgirl.
apparently.
So the stuff we're watching with Robert Pattinson
is separate. It's not connected.
It's a different universe. It's its own continuity.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find logic in this. I'm sorry, RJ. What were you saying?
And there is no logic. There is no logic to manga. Welcome to the modern DC films. No, what I was going to say is supposedly based on what's been floating around, the movie actually deals with mental health and exploring like the different flashes and all that.
I heard that.
So if they wanted to, Ezra could like capitalize on this a little bit and be like, hey, this movie's about mental health. I suffer from mental health, yada
That
yada.
would be good. But that has to be done now. If he has one more,
but listen, right now. I'm sorry, Nerman, go ahead.
No, I actually was going to let RJ finish because I just was like briefly agreeing with him. But yeah, go on.
Me too.
No, I was just saying like if they do it right, it could be a big public PR comeback tour where because supposedly, and again, this is just based on people I've talked to who apparently got in contact with Ezra, and Grace Randolph also is saying that she's aware of similar information. Something really bad happened to Ezra in their personal life. Like her wording was the worst thing you could ever possibly imagine, whatever that means. All I know is it was a really serious thing that happened to them, and that's why they're in Hawaii, and they can't leave Hawaii. And apparently, Grace was speculating that all of the friends that traveled to Hawaii with them basically ditched him. So you have someone who's suffering from mental illness, mental breakdowns, walking around Hawaii all by themselves.
Yeah.
Interacting with civilians who don't know any better, and they're just like, hey, it's a celebrity. Let's go hang out with this guy. Yeah. And he's put in social situations that may be triggering to him and making him act out.
I agree
like,
with all
this
that.
Is clearly someone that needs someone to intervene.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
I believe it only because I don't see anything in Ezra Miller's past to suggest that he would do things like this.
I think
if he was a crazy dude before, it would be like, okay, I get it.
Well, the comparison that Grace used too, because you did a live stream today, is that she said that remember when Chadwick Boseman went on Instagram Live and like everyone was making fun of the way his body looked. She said people are gonna regret making fun of Ezra because she feels like there's something really bad going on that we're not aware of. That's gonna put things into context to where it's more understanding.
I've always said that I feel like he's suffering, but he still needs to be held accountable. He needs help.
Well, yeah, it doesn't make what he did right. It doesn't make what he did right,
he
but
doesn't
still,
need to be.
It's mitigating
on a set. He doesn't need to be doing. He doesn't need to be. He needs to be seeking help and getting better. And that's what I wish for him.
Absolutely.
I mean, and I wish he could, come back because I remember seeing the teaser, and I know I like to joke with Nerdman and Dot, but to me, everything that I've seen from the film, I was hyped to see it because it looked good to me. I'm excited. So
I like the tone and everything.
Yeah. But what's this gonna do? To that film. But I do agree with RJ. If he can, maybe this is his rock bottom. Maybe this is his wake up call.
Sometimes you got to hit rock bottom.
I'm hopefully it is right. And then if he makes the decision now to get the help, that charge is reduced, which I think that he can, with the type of money he has and the type of lawyers he can have access to, that it can be brought down, to a lesser charge possibly. And if that happens, that's good for him. And because then he's, doesn't have to probably serve any time, at all for that, really.
I mean, all you can do is hope and pray that Ezra.
Because the film is a year away.
It's a year and a half away, yeah.
Yeah, a year and a half, yeah.
So June 2023.
I don't know why they
14 months.
I was so pissed when they did that. I mean, I'm glad they've moved up Shazam.
I mean, Grace did kind of say it was about reshoots, but it was also because of issues that Ezra was having.
Well, because he has to promote the film. You cannot promote this film from a marketing standpoint, like press junkets. Look at like the Marvel, all the superhero movies. You are involved. You're going to constant press interviews, talk shows, all this and that. If you're not in a good place mentally and emotionally, you can't handle that. It's a lot of pressure. You got to be in the right state of mind. And
but they should have just done it with Keaton and the rest of the actors because,
like, honestly, he has to be there.
Honestly,
it's called The Flash, though.
No, I know, but like ultimately, people that like do people really watch those things that fucking tough? I mean, like, yes, it's part of the promotion, but the trailers are bigger. A lot of other things are bigger than just going on talk shows. And in the end of the day,
for the fans, yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
He could have released a statement.
If DC's got a banger on their hands, as from what it sounds like the test scorings have been, then they really need to release that shit, fucking ASAP. And it's a multiverse story. They don't want to get behind Marvel in all of this multiverse stuff. They don't want to look like they just copied Marvel because nobody knows about this Ezra. Outside of us, nobody knows about this Ezra Miller stuff.
I wouldn't say that because
I'm talking about the masses. If you ask your average person on the street, they don't give a shit about. All
okay, well, my friends are like what I would consider like in real life friends. They're like super normies. Even they were like, "Did you hear about this?"
Yeah.
Really?
Like, and a lot of mine were like that too because they saw on
the news because they saw on like their Facebook feeds or Instagram feeds. They're like, "Is this true?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
And a lot of mine who know that I like am into this stuff, they didn't say it to me. Oh, did you see that Ezra Miller guy, the one from the Flash?
Yeah, you see the Flash got arrested?
Like, that's how it's because they know. And then they're like, yeah, I knew you would know when we start talking about it. Yeah, I know. Yeah. My friend Sammy, she like watches like superhero movies, but she doesn't know stuff like that. Like she goes because she goes with me. You know what I'm saying? She's an anime.
Because the Ezra story, it's popped off on the online algorithm. It's like it's everywhere on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. Like for whatever reason, it's really connected.
Because it's like arrested again.
Yeah.
Less than 30 days later.
Right. No, and like I said, what I would say, Nerdman, to your response about the promotion, though, just real quick. For us fans, those talk shows, the PR junkets, all that crap, the website interviews, they don't really matter to us fans. They do matter in terms of getting the general public, like the normies, invested. Like grandma and grandpa or like aunt and uncle are going to watch Good Morning America and see, oh, there's a Flash movie coming out. And they see an interview and they're watching TV. It doesn't, I don't think it's like a major contribution to bringing people in, but it is part of that marketing and getting people, like normies especially, invested in seeing a big blockbuster. It puts it on their radar and it builds up hype.
My granddaughter.
I agree.
I'm going to take her to see this movie,
Yeah.
But Dot, I do want to read Dot saying, he says, Ezra is so lucky with all the opportunities and he's wasting them. He just needs to tell the fans that he's going to fix his behavior. His PR team can say something too.
Yeah. Where is his agent and manager? Where are they?
Why is everybody silent? Even if, yes.
Well, just to chime in real quick. Yes. At this point with Ezra, Ashley knows that I never really was effing this Flash day one. But when this movie started coming out, I was like, all right, I'm going to give him a chance. I'm going to give him a chance and see what Andy Muschietti's going to do for him. But at this point now, I don't care if he gets recasted. I really don't care what they do with him because I'm like this. I will give him a chance if he would come out here and, like say something. Say something. Just say how you're going to better yourself, change, like something. 3 times you did the same shit and you still ain't said nothing. And it's like, I understand certain people, you can't give too many chances, but Ezra has gotten so many chances. And if this was any other celebrity, this was a Johnny Depp or a Will Smith or a Idris Elba, it only take one chance for them. One chance. They only get one chance. And if they did what Ezra did, choke a woman, they'd be in fucking jail. They would have been getting dragged. They would have lost roles in movies. They would have lost everything. Ezra's getting so much passes for doing shit that others can do, but they'll get a harsher punishment. Like it's bullshit. It's not even it's bullshit.
Who would like to go? Anzo? Chill.
It's BS.
I'll blame the MCU.
It's extreme BS. Yeah, he should have been fired. But again, at the same time, maybe he does have some mental issues, which I believe, and I said that from the start. And they should try and get him help for it.
Yep.
You know? So. But I did hear that he was in Miami, so
Hawaii.
who knows? Hawaii, yeah. So who knows why he's there? But hopefully it comes out, you know.
Now you said that beyond the trailer said he can't leave Miami, Hawaii.
Well, it's not even just her. It's just, again, because of the court and legal proceedings, I think he's legally barred from leaving the state until those court issues are resolved. Because, again, he's already been charged and arrested multiple times. Again, what I was told by one of my friends who got in contact with Ezra and has been messaging them on Instagram, and it is confirmed it's them, and they've been talking to people close to them, like friends and stuff. He was there in Hawaii for a personal reason. There was a personal tragedy. The wording described by Grace, because she corroborated this exact same thing, said the worst possible thing you could imagine happened to Ezra, and he's dealing with that in Hawaii.
But do you believe her?
Ezra can't.
The worst possible thing that could happen to him, and we wouldn't have heard about it. Like,
look, it's the worst possible thing. That's a room for subjectivity. You know, maybe losing your loved one could be the worst thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It could be any like the worst thing that could have happened to Ezra happened. Basically,
the way I'll read it is something bad happened
for him. The worst possible thing for him is
so,
not.
So let's just all agree that it was bad. Whatever it was,
it was bad. Yeah, but I don't know. I believe her. I well,
you don't have to believe Grace.
I fully think that, like, you know,
well, you don't have to believe.
Like,
I've heard that from multiple people though, too.
Well, this first came from my friend Enosh, who got in contact with Ezra on Instagram.
Okay, fine. I'm not going to say anything.
Well, he talked about it last night.
Yeah, you could to him.
Yeah,
he talked to him. Yeah.
So you're saying you know that he talked to? I mean,
he was open about this. He said this multiple times, and he's been honest about that.
Why would he lie?
When can he leave Hawaii? When the court stuff is over?
I don't know. I mean, that's the assumption. We don't know that for sure. That's the assumption being made. Because again, he has to deal with the court proceedings and everything going on. And from what Grace said is that it's more than likely all the friends that travel with them to Hawaii during this trip there to go deal with the personal stuff, they probably all ditched and left him at this point. Like, he's literally all alone in Hawaii, walking around aimless. Because what Enosh described Ezra as, that Ezra's kind of like a nomad. He doesn't really stay in fancy hotels and sticks to one place. He likes to visit local communities. He likes to make local friends, make friends with the locals. He likes staying at other people's houses. You know, it's just the kind of person he is.
Sounds like a problem. It's kind of weird.
Well, he's eccentric. He's eccentric.
I know he's eccentric, but just staying at random people's homes and shit.
Well, he gets to know them first and talks to them.
Well, if he wants like a home-like vibe, he could say it. Like a Airbnb,
a hotel or something.
Like I said.
No, what am I thinking about?
It's not
weird. It's not weird. It's not weird.
Do that.
What's a bed and breakfast? I didn't mean to say Airbnb.
But if you're gonna do it,
you can give him that homey vibe too.
Yeah. The only thing that's weird is he's assaulting them when they're doing it. But
I'm just saying
weird to go
but
I'm saying you can. I'm saying, but
as a celebrity, you shouldn't be doing that.
Though. Like they have Airbnbs where you rent rooms in people's homes.
Well, real quick, let me just say this real quick.
He's basically doing that.
From what was described to me, Ezra really doesn't believe in the celebrity thing. He doesn't believe in staying in hotels or anything like that. He doesn't really even believe in like acting better than other people because he's rich. He wants to like just be a guy who just walks around like a normal person and just does normal things and like.
But you can't do. But that don't mean.
I mean, that's fine. I understand it, but he's like Look,
telling people they're gonna burn.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying he
wife.
doesn't. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that's why he doesn't stay in hotels and isolates himself like that.
There's
He wants to be out with people.
Ezra could go outside all day, breakfast, sure, lunch, dinner, then 9 p.m. go home. You could live that lifestyle of being a nomad when the sun is up.
Yeah.
No.
Going out there dancing.
It's why I say with
He's
Ezra.
going out to the clubs. He's doing too much and getting kicked out, and he's being violent.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we're just
Nothing
talking
RJ
about
is saying is wrong, apart from
RJ is
the
not
fact
wrong.
that he's doing violent stuff.
We're just
going around
the
going
other
like.
Side.
Yeah, but there's no what other.
Nerman. I'm not saying
anything I'm saying is not a reflection of what RJ is saying. I hope you.
No, I'm just relaying the information that's been.
No,
out there
I know
Ezra,
that. I know. I'm not talking about like anything. I'm just giving another the
But
opposite side.
Yeah, I get that, and what's his name actually does this as well. You wouldn't hear about it, but I know about it because he came to the Czech Republic recently and was hanging out with friends of mine. Steve Buscemi does the exact same thing.
I can see it.
I don't think
it's weird.
My friend has Steve Buscemi's fucking phone number, literally. Like,
cool.
Yeah, like the text, Happy New Year and shit like that to each other. What are you up to?
Word.
But like,
but Nerman, is he friends with these people, or are they random people that he just like?
Well, see, they become friends over time.
He stayed with them, and then
and Ezra thought that he had people that were becoming his friends, and then it didn't work out, and he said something he shouldn't have said, and things like that.
What I think also might be an issue is that because Ezra is part of the LGBT community, I think certain social situations, interactions may trigger them like badly. And it's not me trying to be insulting. It's more so just like when you're already like mentally ill and you're already being sensitive because of a personal tragedy, that kind of stuff can just escalate your mind, just get you into a worse state, if that makes sense. You know what I mean?
I think that's what I heard.
Because he's been the victim of bullying and stuff, and the KKK thing might have been like death threats and all that.
I think so too, but
that's what I heard. I heard he gets easily triggered by. They get easily triggered by the pronoun stuff and
they do. They do.
They get angry and offended easily, and then it turns into like getting into little.
And just imagine that. Well, imagine that, and then alcohol gets involved or something else.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then that's his problem. If that's what's happening, that's their problem, right? That's not. Get over it. Certain people are not going to be able to just kowtow to you immediately because of you suddenly. This is a very, very recent thing, and it's hard for people to get into their heads and get around that kind of language change. And not everyone's just going to be immediately accepting of that. But I'm not saying that is it. It might be the mental health thing. I still, if I were to put odds on it, I'd say it's probably the mental health thing. But I did hear that they get triggered very easily by that stuff, and that's part of what's been going on recently. That was by the person who they stayed with. They put that up on Twitter and Instagram, like, don't hang out with Ezra Miller because you offend his political their political sensibilities, and they go crazy.
Well, look,
it's true. That's very true.
When Ezra gives us the context, right, and like I said, if he says in these situations that, and I'm not saying this justifies him assaulting people, whatever, but I can begin to understand things. If he says like people have been, outright saying like homophobic slurs to me or blah blah blah, or like if these are situations people are instigating with him,
then different story. Not saying it's okay for him to do what he did to the woman, put his hands on her, but it's like now I can understand where he was coming from, but why he did what he did.
Well, but right now we lack that context, so it makes it worse.
Yeah, and this is why
we're not entitled to that context. We might never hear the story, and that's okay too.
Yeah, as long as he's doing what he's got to do. Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here. I'm not going to say what Kata said. Kata, you started by saying if Ezra gives us the context and the backstory, like that's
up to
guaranteed to happen.
Yeah, I don't need that. I just
no. I'm not saying it needs. It would help. I'm not saying it needs to happen. But if he says that he's working on trying to become better, that can help too. He just needs to say something because this silence does not help nothing. It doesn't fit it, and he needs to do this because honestly, it's going to hurt the press of the Flash movie. Because when this starts to come out, people gonna be asking, "Yo, Ezra, blah 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 blah." They might ask other actors about it, and it's like he just gonna make things complicated.
Yeah,
and he needs a.
They need to. They need
and also Ezra, and also Ezra.
People,
yeah, go ahead, Ashley.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say right now, the PR people could have said Ezra Miller is deeply sorry for his actions that caused, a head injury on a young female, Saturday evening.
Yeah, even that, like something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just not that robotic type.
It was an accident, But I don't even think they could do that if he's not made a statement to them.
Yeah,
but I'm saying they would have to have. No, I'm saying if they had a conversation with him, that's a phone call.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he might not be. They might not be picking up the phone.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, look, they can't just put out a statement without
getting. No, I'm not saying them just put out a statement. I'm not talking about them putting.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you, Ashley. I'm backing you up.
I mean, that's not what I was saying.
I know you're not saying that, so I'm backing you up.
The PR team gets a statement from him. They put it out.
Mm-hmm. And also, look, personally for Ezra, like when I was looking at this case and these situations going on, this is the common things with all the situations he's been at, parties and bars and stuff. He needs to step away from that type of shit because there's a common thing going on at these type of events he's going to. He gets wild and does some shit. I mean, we Ezra be getting lit at these places. We saw him dancing at the club. Y'all remember that? He was getting it. He was lit, right? He was getting it, but he needs to step away from. I'm not saying he needs to abandon parties, and I'm not saying that, but he needs to step away from that stuff for a while. Like he needs to relax, step away from because those environments are clearly not good for him because of where these situations happened at. Choked a woman at a bar, karaoke bar for the next one, at a party for the next.
Yeah, I mean,
he definitely needs to step away from those type of environments.
And what I would say about it is like I really think they need to take responsibility for them. Warner Brothers needs to take responsibility for them because in the end of the day, it's their millions. It's not his millions. It's their million. It's not it's their millions that are at risk here. Hundreds of millions that are at risk.
Millions.
And I just, even if it means if they won't accept help, just get someone to follow him. I don't give a shit. Like, get someone to get get a person who will just be there, like just hanging out with him. And if they see him getting a bit like we're going, you can do that if you're Warner Brothers. You got the money to do that. Give someone, what do they call those people? Not like a private eye or whatever, but like you could get someone to keep a tabs on Ezra while he's there, if he's not accepting the help.
Chaperone
or whatever. Yeah, something like that.
No, I get what you're saying, that someone needs to be there for him and not downplay it and just take it seriously.
Mm-hmm. And Daniel makes this point right here. He says he doesn't seem to have any close family or, involved in friends. They need to get his management there to step in. So
I stepped away for a bit, but I didn't hear what Nerdman said. But if you're saying they should chaperone him, you can't really chaperone a grown ass man, though.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
Not if you don't want to be.
No.
If you get somebody, there are people who are very good at this to follow him where he's going. Like they could do that. Trust me. If you want, it doesn't even cost that much. Like drop him 500,000 or something like that.
But that's
Don't do
not.
it.
But I don't. They can't just like do that.
A lot of it. That's what I'm
Why-
saying.
why-
a lot
why
of the
can't
things. A lot of the things about doing stuff like that, you know,
Because
he's
nothing
gonna
in his
have to change.
contract
Right.
is gonna say that that you're required to have handlers. Like, where's that? Like, I
I'm
mean,
not
he
saying
can
it's
dispute
in his
that.
contract.
I'm just saying, but he can dispute that he needs handlers.
He wouldn't know. Well, how would he know?
You know what this made me think about? I was gonna say, what about Friends? But what did you mention earlier? That all of Ezra's friends left Hawaii weeks ago, and maybe these incidents would have occurred, but there was always somebody nearby who was caring and would take the
His
bullets,
friends,
and that's
if
why
he
we
had
never
friends,
heard. Yeah, it proves it that the friends were working.
I mean, the friends might, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And he probably pissed off all of his friends.
And he
right?
might, and they might have just
because
couldn't
of
handle it anymore.
They couldn't handle it anymore. He pissed them off. He kept getting angry.
Or they had to go back home to their families or whatever, or.
And he just was like, I want to keep partying. I know there's kind of that kind of situation, that kind of person. And I'm just saying, like, look, if I had millions of dollars invested in a guy, I'm just saying, like, I would send somebody out there and just say, hey, just keep an eye on him. If he gets into anything, like it looks like he's about to get in a fight in a party, something like that, just get involved quickly. Try and calm the shit down. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying he should know that person is going around looking at him. There's ways of doing it. Trust me. And especially if you're in Hollywood, there's definitely ways you can look at people who do that with their husbands and stuff like that. They go, oh yeah, just they want to divorce their husband. They want to prove that he's having an affair with some fucking chick or whatever. They go, just follow the person, like
Private investigator.
Yeah, like those kind of guys. They will do that shit.
But they don't like intervene. Handlers
True, but there's different levels to the shit, is what I'm saying. I'm saying, come on, you know what I'm talking about. Why are you pretending
not
like
the
I'm
same? It's not the
irrational?
same because it's not the same thing. But okay,
I know it's not the same, but I'm saying if you want someone to follow someone around for like whatever amount of time, they can do that. That's what I mean. You're going on like it's impossible to follow someone around.
No, and I never said that. You said handler. Like a handler and a private investigator are not the same thing.
I don't.
Am I right or wrong?
A handler, correct me if I'm wrong, is somebody that they know is like who's just hanging out with them, and they know who's hanging out with them. That's not what I'm talking about.
They handle their stuff. They take care of them.
That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking.
You're talking about a private
keeping
investigator.
Not even a private investigator. Someone keeping an eye on him.
But now what? So what? Now Hollywood's gonna. So what Hollywood's gonna do now? Baby everybody that has issues.
I mean,
you know what I mean?
The only other who
but a lot of them do.
One person has issues, not everyone.
A lot of them do. R. Kelly had issues. They hid that shit for many years, right?
That's a different thing.
No, it's a different type of issue. Hold on, it's a different type of issue, but it was an issue, right? So they can't baby every single actor because they were in a movie for them and the movie hasn't come out.
You're going on like it's one actor. It's one crazy actor.
But it does set precedent.
But what I'm saying is we're talking about one now, right? What about the two tomorrow? What about the stories we never hear about?
We'll deal with tomorrow. We deal with today. Let's not think about hypotheticals. It's like saying, it's like me saying, oh, my son's in trouble today. But maybe I shouldn't help him or baby him like when he's in trouble. He's 19 years old, because my next son tomorrow might need
But
that as
they
well.
are not
And
his
where does it stop?
father.
I don't
Hollywood is not
care.
his
You've got
father.
200 million invested in a fucking guy. Don't you understand that? That's not a little bit of
First
money.
off, they don't have 200
What would
million.
you do for
They
200
don't have
million?
100 million invested in him. They have it invested in the movie. He's a part of the movie. He
And
got his
if
pay
he-
already.
And what if he goes to a party, gets in a car, runs over a kid?
But Nerdman, even if he does that, he'll go to jail. Maybe the movie will flop. But what you're trying to say is that these Hollywood types,
Maybe the
hold on.
movie will
But what you're
flop.
saying is these Hollywood types or these people up top. What they should do is they should make sure that they have people that handle these guys and make sure. Just because he's the one that's in the issue now doesn't mean there haven't been tons of actors or actresses that had issues. So what are they supposed to do? Take one handler and make sure every single one stays on point?
I didn't say that. I did not say that. I'm saying there's a guy who's going out harming people, right? He's in an escalating pattern of behavior. They're claiming he has mental issues and they know about it. And he might hurt somebody, literally hurt someone, to the point that your movie can't even come out. I'm just saying, it's very possible given his recent behavior. I wouldn't be surprised if he's arrested again very soon.
You are right. It is possible, but they can't baby these guys, bro. They're grown ass men. You think I'm gonna sit around and watch someone fucking babying me and I'm trying to do some shit, even if it's wrong? I don't want no one around me telling me, "Oh, hey, what's up?"
That's why I said you wouldn't know about it, Onso. You wouldn't know about it until
Something happens.
Yeah,
Right.
until you try and do
And
some
then
stupid shit.
and then you know it happens. And then you know it happens. So wait. Then you know it happens, right? So now it happens. He stops you. Now every time you go out, you're gonna be like, "Oh, these fucking guys are following me." So you could do it once, could do it twice, maybe, but after that, you can't do no more because now I know.
That's true, but it buys you some time.
Yep, it gets you
RJ.
2 free.
Go ahead, chill.
It gives you 2 extra lives, basically. The first 2 times he won't notice, but that third time, hey, you're stalking me, aren't you? You're shadowing me, or you're chaperoning me.
Yeah.
And I
Fine.
agree with you. And I agree with you. Right? Maybe it gets you 2
Like
times.
you're
Maybe it
gonna
gets you-
know,
maybe it
like
gets-
you can't feel that someone's like on you.
Sometimes
their
you can.
energy. I
But-
can. I would
but
that's yeah. You can feel that.
it gets you 2 times, right? But he's been arrested 2 times in a week, in a month,
Maybe
or
not.
in a
Maybe
month.
maybe
For
that's
what?
too-
Were you
maybe
gonna
it's a
just
multi-
like bring in a different handler each time? Oh
No. Maybe it's a
decoy number
multi-pronged-
2.
No, maybe it's a multi-pronged approach. You do that first, and then while you're doing that, you try and keep reaching out to the guy. You try and keep going, like get the family, get other people to reach out to him to say, "Hey, please, we're trying to help you." Just get,
Or
get
even
him
like
right.
if they
But
even if they did
regardless-
this,
But
you know what
until then,
what
stop it.
would be more effective, I feel, is that maybe if they know what he's experienced and what he's going through, someone who's been through a similar experience, maybe bringing that person in, and introducing themselves to him and trying to build a rapport with him.
The thing
That
I'm
might be more
saying,
effective.
is all this stuff you try, unless Ezra Miller
Is
wants
ready
to do it,
he
it's
ain't gonna
not.
do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, if Ezra doesn't want to
F
do
that. Be
it,
creative.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
and Anzo, we're not thinking properly. We could do more. He likes meeting new people. Hire new people. Literally hire an actor. Send them to Hawaii. Tell them that you're on vacation. This is
you
your
best
role.
believe Chillmonger I'll be doing that.
Oh
You
my
best
God! I'll
believe
pay them
it.
a little cut, and I'm gonna say, listen, if you perform well, then you basically chill with Ezra Miller. Ezra, spend the whole night. Do what you got to do. Is he into women or men? Whichever one he's into, get him his preferred.
Both,
spend the night if you got to, no strings attached. Like do that. Hire somebody, and then that takes care of one night. that takes care of a second night. And then, he wants to meet new people, right? All right, bring in the new actors. This one's from Holland. And you know what I mean? You just mix it up. It's Hawaii. There's no reason why you can't have a diverse
pool. You can put them all in a bunch of Airbnbs,
Now Chipmunk is
right?
thinking like
And
I'm
he can act like their houses. He can act like they're their houses. He can go stay at their,
exactly. You put them up in plush houses in Hawaii
fake
by
houses.
the beach
Put them in
and
fake
shit
houses.
like that.
Now the
Ezra will be
chaperone
down
is
for that.
exactly. And hire some locals that he keeps seeing every day, so you'd have a constant. That's very easy.
But yes,
RJ,
that
what-
still doesn't change the
And
interaction.
little by little, they convince him to go to.
What is this? What's happening with this?
And then next year, Ezra
When
Miller's watching a
things
Warner Bros. film.
fall
I know
apart,
him.
ladies and gentlemen. This is
Yes.
it. A
Sorry,
good
what
book,
was it?
by the way. My favorite book of all time. But that's this moment when things fall apart. RJ, your thoughts here about like them trying to hire some in Nerd Man's logic, he called it a handler, but it's basically a guy who just follows him around and he's not really an investigator, so he's a shadow. Thoughts, opinions,
I don't know if they
and-
need that per se. I mean, what I would just say
if
is
they
like,
would have, yeah.
yeah, no, I would just say is like, I think the best thing right now is maybe some court-ordered rehab or court-ordered stay at like a mental institution so they can get the help they need. Having someone follow them around, I don't think would really do much at all. They need to have like a friend, a family member, like that. I think would have more impact than some guy they would hire.
I agree. I agree
I
with
feel
you.
like
but
that's
if
why I
you're-
said even though-
I'm going off the information you told me, which is he's not accepting anything. He's not. I don't know if that's happening. I'm not saying this would be my first approach. I'm saying I will do anything possible not to have to, unless what I'm doing will cost me more than 200 million or like 5 million or something. If it's going to cost like a crazy amount of money, then I ain't doing it. But anything that will cost me like less than $1 million to sort this situation out, I would prefer to do rather than reshoot the movie for 100 million. Do you get what I'm saying? That's like
ideally
they need to do, outcome.
Yeah, well, ideally they need to do everything they need to possibly do before deciding to like again reshoot the movie or put like a crap ton more money into fixing it.
Right. That's what I'm getting, especially if it's really good and like audiences they test audiences like them, all of that kind of stuff. I don't think it's a very good idea to like
Nerdman.
Anybody have any final opinions?
I got a
here?
question for Nerdman. Yeah. Would you have the same energy if it was an MCU movie?
Yeah.
That was on the line?
Huh?
Would you have the same energy if it was an MCU movie that was on the line?
How do you mean? Yeah, I would. Except they've got more money to reshoot and recast and more confident.
Warner Brothers is no indie studio though. They got a lot of money too.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they're getting sold like a cheap whore all the time. Like, come on, man.
No, it's because AT&T didn't know what they were doing and they wanted out of the content creation business because it didn't work for them. Discovery had the money, they took over.
Yeah,
it didn't work for them. I mean, all right.
Yeah, you've seen the
so
movies. They put out.
anybody final thoughts here? Because we're going to wrap up here in a moment.
I enjoyed this stream.
Hamza, will you be my wife?
For being here. I enjoyed all of you all being here.
Yeah, this is fun.
Appreciate it. We will do another. We do have a scheduled stream coming later. We'll talk about that as it gets closer. I don't want to, but I will do pop-up stream here or there. But most of the scheduled streams will be for bigger things. Moon Knight's going to be ending soon. Multiverse of Madness is going to be coming out, right? So we're going to be talking about that. I got to talk about
coming out?
Got my tickets already.
May 6th.
When's that coming out?
May 6th.
Oh my God.
I'm seeing it on the 5th.
All these
And we will be talking about it.
around in the streets.
We will have a great, and you got to go see it because you got to be here. Okay,
Oh
even
my
if you
God.
hated it, I need to hear everything that you hated about it.
It's gonna be great.
We're going to
when
do
the
a
first
character discussion of each character in the movie. That's how we're going to do it. We're going to talk about each character. The main characters, obviously, not these. We might mention if you thought something from a side character was cool, and break down that character a bit. Each character, it'd be more of a character discussion, slight review. But that's just, I like to do it that way a little bit. So we'll be doing that. But
and it's going to be great to see the first week when Multiverse of Madness beats the Batman's whole grossing average in the first week.
Shut your mouth, bro. I swear to God.
It's gonna be great.
You guys are so fucking confident in your bullshit, man.
It's gonna be
I don't
great.
care if it makes more money. Batman is going to be a better movie, though. It's going to be remembered for longer. It's going to be a better
We'll
movie.
see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
No, we're not going to see. I know already. I know already.
Just like you knew it was gonna make $1 billion, right? Yeah.
No, I know already. I've got it. I've got it.
Listen to this as things fall apart. That is what
subscriber. I have a subscriber.
They're gonna do it. They're gonna do it.
Who has contacted me? A subscriber contacted me from the future.
Oh, from the future.
He's from 200 years in the future, and he's been telling me, Nerdman, you don't know how right you are, bro. All of the DC movies are the ones that are watched and like remembered from this era. No one even watches the MCU.
I want that level of drugs.
No one watches. Okay, so Chillmonger.
In the future, that's what he said.
Onzo, tell us about your channel a little bit.
You guys know Big Afford Entertainment, man. I'm just glad to be here. It was fun. It was great until Nerdman came. But, yeah.
Chillmonger. Tell us about your channel. Are you there? Chillmonger. I guess not. RJ. I had a good time on his channel the other day. He does fire streams. If y'all have not checked out any of the stuff he does, please go check it out. RJ, tell us about, you got anything coming up or kind of your streaming schedule? RJ, are you not there? That's amazing.
Ain't nobody here.
Yeah, that's the story of my life. They never listen. They're never listening. Nerdman?
What's up?
Of course
he wasn't listening either. Amazing.
I was listening to you. You said to shout out my channel. Have I got anything coming up in the future?
But then why'd you ask me what's up? I mean,
wow.
Because you said Nerdman, and I was like, what's up?
Okay.
I was listening to you. I always listen to you.
So tell me what you got going on Hot Takes Tuesdays.
I don't know actually.
Are you ever going to do a Hot Take Tuesday again?
Oh,
maybe.
Yeah. Tomorrow night, tier listing. Not sure which one I'm going to do yet, but I have a few options that I can do. Best superhero, best animated movie. There's a few that I have. So tomorrow, 8 o'clock, there'll be a tier list.
RJ. Anything
Yes.
you got coming up?
I might be dropping a video tomorrow, maybe if I record it on time. Last week of classes, and then I'm done for the summer break. So
you're ready.
Yeah, I know. But I should be doing a lot more content in the coming weeks. I really don't plan things out. It's just whatever I feel like doing at a particular time ends up happening. So kind of keep it ebbing and flowing like that, you know?
Yeah, I feel you. And for me, I'm going to have the second episode of Better Call Saul up. I was messing with Streamlabs all day because I was going to record a video and trying to get my stuff because, I'm not very handy with those Streamlabs. But shout out to the Dot for giving me a step-by-step walk through tonight. That's why we started a little bit later because I was getting a lesson, so that happened. And so hopefully next video it'll
wait a second.
Oh god.
No, someone just contacted me who wants to talk to you.
Who?
You'll see.
Some bullshit. It's some bullshit, guys.
It is. Trust me, it is. It's a good thing to end on, isn't it? We'll end on that note.
And on bullshit. And on Nerdman's bullshit. Okay.
I gotta pull this up because I don't have.
I'm telling you, they just contacted. It's so funny. Look.
What is it? Who is it? Is it like a celebrity or someone we know?
The suspense, man.
He's doing some trolly thing, but it's okay. It's gonna be cute, guys. Wait.
Share your screen.
He's just telling you like he's coming out.
You know, the longer we wait for the punchline, the worse it gets.
I know. Like, it better be worth it.
I had a bad joke earlier. I just want to let it be known that my bad joke.
Yeah, they're a lot better than Nerdman's right now.
What did you say to me while I was off? You asked me to plug myself?
Yeah. Yeah, she asked you to plug your channel.
Yeah. Every Saturday I do 33 burning questions, so check me out.
Great stream, guys. Make sure you check it out. Saturdays at 1 EST?
Heck yeah.
Or 12?
It's at 1 o'clock.
1 Eastern, yeah.
RJ, are you free on Saturday at 1 o'clock Eastern?
Possibly.
He does a cool stream. Like he has 33 questions that he asks about like a specific genre. What are you doing?
No, you gotta get it right, Ash. It's 33 burning.
Yeah, burning. I forgot about the burning. I'm so used to it being chill.
I know how you guys like to
burn.
burn.
Yeah.
He likes to burn on Saturday. He lets it burn. He pulls out his usher on Saturday.
He just messaged me. What's going on? Oh, he's there. He's there. Look.
Oh boy.
This bit is like going on.
No, look, he's there. Like bring his comments up.
Future CBM fan, him?
Yeah. He doesn't
Hi guys.
He doesn't spell
Oh,
so
that took you. Oh, so you typed that. So you made that.
I didn't type that, man. What are you doing? Come on, you think I'm gonna do that? He just messaged me on my channel.
For so long.
He liked that I gave him a shout out. He liked that I gave him a shout out.
How did I get schooled by Nerdman
That's
tonight?
weird.
WZ? Absolutely not.
WZ is a
You're not gonna put him up.
Let's see.
They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it.
I know. I think this might be Sean, but
no, it's Nerdman.
No, I swear on my family, this is not me.
Mm-hmm.
Hi guys, I jam from Jenny. This is so you, dude. Look, from 200 years in the future, you talked about somebody coming from the future. There,
yeah.
Look at this.
He's giving me stock
so long
advice
to
and
make
stuff.
this. Just want to tell you, Nerdman is right. DC movies are legendary in future.
Yeah,
we ain't gonna live to see 200 years in the future.
Has heard of Doctor Strange and Feige was arrested for tax evasion in 2025.
I'm telling you, dude.
You're out here hating on my husband.
Don't hate on this guy. He gives you like stock advice and everything like that, like what to invest in and shit.
And WZ is a freaking Nerdman shield, ladies and gentlemen. I hope y'all know that.
That's a fact.
Nerdman shield in the chat. WZ's cool, but he is a Nerdman shield. So we are about to get up out of here. You know. Hopefully everyone's had a great night. It's good.
Yeah, it's been a wonderful stream. Thank you for inviting me.
Talking to you guys.
Fun.
Chilling. Of course. You know me, I don't have a proper outro for me that fits this at the moment. So I'm gonna do. What are you doing? Are you laughing at me, dude?
I'm laughing at Zod right what you just said. Sorry.
Okay, so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna push this on here and play a little song. We're gonna get up out of here. Okay, guys. So y'all have a wonderful, wonderful night. I appreciate Anzo being here, Chillmonger being here. You know what I'm saying? RJ didn't hear. I was saying nice things about him, and he didn't hear it.
I'm sorry. I had a cut on my neck.
They don't listen. They don't listen. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I feel
No, you're fine. No, I had to step out. I had like a cut on my neck. I was like, why am I bleeding? I'm like, oh shoot. So it felt so bad. I had to leave for a second. No, it's fine. Good at all. I'm all good.
Tell everybody about your stream. I had a good time on your channel the other day talking with you. The last 2 times has been so much fun over there. So you all should check him out when he does.
Thank you, Ashley. I appreciate that.
Great streams, good fun, and you know Nerd Man, it's the anniversary. You know, chill. Thank you. Anzo is the dude as always, and we're gonna get out of here right now.
Peace. Peace.
A little bit of love goes a pretty long way. Take a look at where you started from and where you are today. You climbed mountains, swam oceans, you got knocked down and kept going. In the end, you know you got to say a little bit of love goes a pretty long way.